We've had so many great races in this race stages already, so this is promising to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, and our runners are off. So they're just going to go through criteria here, and they're probably going to proceed straight into Link to the Past. It's very rare that they will go down into Blue Brinstar to check out the one item in logic and the other item not in logic down there. So as we see, Lenophis is going straight into Link to the Past through this door on the right here. Now, in the combo randomizer, there are 4 doors that will take you between Super Metroid and Link to the Past. This one, which we just saw here, is the easiest one to get to, and it takes you to the fortune teller's hut southeast of Link's house, and we see there that there were super missiles on the Lake Hylia Island. But lackattack is going for the Blueprint Star play. A small key in the sanctuary chest for Lenophis, so that's where we'll put most of the serious logic for him. Oh, that was the Spacer Beamer on the Morph Ball spot, but lackattack is leaving that behind. I'm thinking he's just going to check out the item on the right here. If it's nothing worth picking up, he will just hard reset and decide he can get that Spacer Beam later. Oh, that's Power Bombs. Okay, so he's resetting, and he's going to go again and go into Link to the Past. Lenophis gets 4 green rupees from the tree porter, and we'll see what the bush crab has for him. Just hearts. So we're going to be looking for another spot for farming bombs. Aghanim item, I really cannot see what it is. Ah, looks like power bombs. Looks like Lenophis had a bit of trouble seeing what it was too. So lackattack is going into Link to the Past a couple minutes behind Lenophis. He does have knowledge of that Spacer Beam and power bombs in Blue Brinstar, but still going into this a little bit of a time disadvantage. So item, ooh, nice early flute in the Lost Woods today. So we are going to be zipping around Hyrule pretty quickly. We're going to be activating that flute as soon as we start making our Kakariko checks. Lackattack, meanwhile, is going for the uncle in the front of Hyrule Castle Escape. So more missiles for lackattack from the chest before the uncle. And we get a reserve tank from the uncle. You can keep your energy in there, you can also keep your milk in there. So lackattack's also heading towards Lost Woods and Kakariko now, but Lenophis is already in the basement of Blind's hut. So first item down here is the red boomerang. And a red rupee, plus 5 bombs, and another reserve tank. Now, Lenophis has not been able to find any bombs anywhere at all, so he's going to be leaving the last item in the bottom of Blind's hut alone for now. Lenophis is still going to be trying to find some bombs somewhere, or otherwise he's going to try and find 27 rupees so that he can buy some bombs. So there's one more item down here that's locked by bombs. So spring ball in the bottom of the well, some more cash, and 3 bombs. Okay. So he's going to use 1 bomb here to get into the item here, probably 1 back at Blind's hut, and then he may decide to go to the southwest and open up the hut in the southwest of Kakariko to farm some bombs there, or he could just buy some. There was an energy tank in the bomb locked portion of the rail, so much more useful than a reserve tank going when you start making your Super Metroid ventures. And yeah, he is going straight back to Blind's hut. Bit of a time loss for him, but lackattack has not been able to find any bombs either from his tree pools, so He's going to be in the same spot coming into Kakariko. And Lenophis decides to push some blocks in the south of the hut out of instinct. But just a single arrow there. Oh, and we saw that with flippers in the bottom of the thieves' hideout in Lost Woods. I missed that last time. Lackattack using that flute a couple times already in anticipation. So at a mere 5 minutes and 20 seconds into the seed, you can already get your 07s in chat. For the duck is the mug, the goose is loose. And Lackattack's just going straight for that activation. So get your 07 still in chat for Lackattack. Right, Lenophis is using their last bomb on the chicken hut here, so they're probably just going to be buying some bombs after. He's only got 113 rupees, so if he wants to get more if he wants to check the bottle fender, he's going to be out of rupees for that. Lackattack is heading into the well first. They're going to get their spring ball and a couple of bombs there, so this benefits him going into blindside afterwards. In the back of a barn, Kakariko, just a piece apart. Lenophis is short 17 rupees for checking the bottle fender. We'll be returning to that later. We'll see if Lackattack decides to farm bombs and keep his rupees for that bottle fender. On the library, we just have a heart container. We are lacking health in Link to the Past so far, but I doubt they'll be returning back to the library just for the heart container unless we're still lacking health and we find the boots pretty early. And Lenophis is just going straight for the racing game. He's gambling. Making the gamble straight to racing game is an okay play in Link to the Past and Super Metroid combo because you're going to be lacking a lot of items early game and even stuff like upgrades, be it super missiles or... Oh, Lenophis kind of clipped through the super missile pack there and didn't pick it up. But he did manage to dodge the duck. Now he's floating to the desert, so he's just going to check out the... Ooh, it's a hammer on the ledger. So we're going to be looking for early Dark World access or a mirror and Titan Space to either get a hammer or we're going to be looking for the Book of Medora. And he didn't choose to check out Agina's cave or that desert. He has just fluted straight away back to the dam in South Hyrule. So 2 items to be found here. Ooh, half magic. Nice, very nice to get early game. There's a pack of power bombs for Lenophis. No morph ball to make use of them yet. When we start Super Metroid, we're going to be ideally with about 2 or 3 packs of power bombs. Getting through most of early Super Metroid with just 5 power bombs and no ordinary morph ball bombs is pretty tricky. And you usually have to end up farming some enemies somewhere to try and get power bomb drops. So Lackattack is he's on 4 rupees now. I was not looking to see if he actually did check the bottle fender or not, but his bomb supply is looking pretty maxed out, so I reckon he just bought some bombs. Lenophis takes care of the mini moldoms without too much trouble with the bombs,
Ooh,
and there are boots.
The hooks off! That is a pretty good mini moldom cave, if I say so. And the Lenophis is gonna head straight to Ice Rod.
Yeah, Lackattack's routing is getting him caught up a little bit with Lenophis here because he hasn't checked out the desert area like Lenophis did. We saw that the hammer was there on the ledge, so Lackattack doesn't know that yet. If they find a book somewhere, they may put off Desert for a little bit. Lenophis making use of that hookshot to stun the crabs there. Crabs are mean. They will take Link out in 2 hits because they do 2 hearts of damage each. Oh, that's Blue Mail in Icefoot Cave. Very
That's
nice
really
find
nice.
to get in the early game.
Wonderful. And we are gonna see Lenophis doing the high roll water sex. That is the uncle, and I believe setting up to check what Sora ledge is. Doesn't have enough money to buy anything though, so he's gonna have to leave that.
Yeah, no fake flipper tricks necessary today, and we can even get into the Woodfall Cave, because we have the flippers, we don't need the moon power for any shenanigans to get in the Woodfall Cave. Oh, we get a quick map check here. That was crystals
blue
on...
pendant in desert, and there were normal crystals on the other location.
Yes. Oh, Lackattack gets out his flute, but decides he's going to dash over to the flute spot anyway. Doesn't cost him that much time, it's probably about the same either way. The hobo under the bridge today had 20 rupees for Lenophis. And he is fluting away rather than making the play into the Zora area. Ah, he's checking the portal fender first, and the portal fender only had missiles.
He is also gonna go in and check Chickid.
And that's Morph Ball Bombs. Okay, that helps our early game in Super Metroid quite a lot. It means we have to spend far less power bombs getting around Super Metroid. But we do not have a Morph Ball yet. That Morph Ball could be hiding anywhere.
Yeah. What is it? He's gonna head up to Sora though, so let's see if we find anything in Waterfall Cave or is there something interesting on the...
Yeah, Lenophis has fluted back to Lake Hylia and taken the Whirlpool to the Zora area, whilst Lackattack has gone to... Oh, there's our Morph Ball in the Waterfall Cave. Along with a book, so we can already reach a hammer too.
Yeah, that will be really good over there, getting that hammer and being able to actually start killing. While Logitech trying to navigate in the dark.
Yeah, he's taken the flute to Death Mountain and is checking out the Old Man Cave, but he's having a little trouble with navigation in here. Okay, he makes his way out with the Old Man in tow. And Lenophis is immediately on their way to pick up that hammer.
Smarter they can also probably do the whole front half of desert because those boots, so it will not be boot locked or something.
Yeah, and we can even kill Lammerlus once we get that hammer. No swords yet, so that hammer is an especially nice early game find. It does the same damage as Tempered Sword.
Don't you need the gloves for that to be able to get in?
Oh yes, of course, they need the gloves to be able to get to Lammerlus. I always forget that.
It's such a tiny detail, no worries. But I really love the player from Lackattack being able to get into the Mirage Cage.
Yeah, he's checking out Paradox Cave. 7 items to be found here. A quite rich spot. So, hard container and some missiles. Lenophis finds a big 300 on the right side of desert.
We have a bomb upgrade, a missile pack, the fighter sword, some super missiles, and the missiles for Lactac.
A pretty good Paradox Cave just for that sword alone. We do know that the hammer is extremely early in the logic here, so fighter sword is not as useful as it could be. But we're still going to be looking to get Tempered Sword sometime because you can't really use a hammer against Ganon. Well, you can, but it's still annoying compared to using the sword.
The only time we will see that would be if we played swordless, and even then I would want it.
Yeah, so we saw on Lenophis' side that he also got the fire rod from the vanilla big key chest on the east side of Desert Palace. So this is an extremely loaded Desert Palace.
That's pretty good.
Lackattack is remembering to check Spiral Cave on Death Mountain here, and in the last 2 races I've been commentating or tracking in, Spiral Cave has always had an important item that has basically roadblocked one runner from the rest of the seed. So I'm glad he's making this play, but it's just for 5 hours this time. Lenophis makes the same mistake that I did and forgets that he needs gloves to get into the back of Desert Palace, so he can't get back there yet. So he's going to check out Agena as his last check here in the
It
desert.
happened to the best of us. But yeah, Lenophis will probably head up to Death Mountain here. He could pathways all the way up to Hera because of that hammer and full cleared up.
So Lackattack is back on their way back to top of Death Mountain. I didn't see him checking out Spectacle Rock on his first visit here, so he's going to be having a look now. 5 bombs on the top. And some more missiles in the back, so not going for that. He's not taking the save and crit. He's probably going to be
Lenophis
shooting
is heading
somewhere.
over to Uncle.
We saw this early on Lackattack's side, and there wasn't really anything here, but Lenophis is going to be going into the front of escape with that hammer in tow. Lackattack gets their own morph ball bombs. So Lackattack is on his way somewhere. I'm not quite sure. Ah, he's going to go for Bonkrocks, right. So Lenophis is making his way into the front of escape, and Lackattack is on his way to Eastern Palace.
That's pretty good. Can take the Salah's hut and as well taking Eastern, but he's gonna start off with the Salah's hut.
Yeah, if he chooses to make the trip into Eastern Palace, it's going to be a double dip, but Eastern Palace is very often a double dip. The bow can be in extremely nasty locations in pretty much anywhere in the seed. So in the back of the hut, we get the
bombs.
blue boomerang, air bombs, and piece of hut. Yeah, he's not making the plane to Eastern just yet. There would be one more chest out of logic in there because he doesn't have the lamp. It's a pretty easy chest to get to if you know your dark rooms, but it still sends you out of sequence. Lackattack sees that hammer on the ledge, and yeah, he's interested now.
Definitely.
Lenophis is taking some damage here in the front of escape. He's setting up a depth warp. He does have that small key to go check out the Dark Cross room if he so chooses. Oh! He gets a little bullied by the green guard there and takes his depth warp a bit earlier than intending.
Rip. Then we see Lackattack also making a play for the Hyrule Castle.
Lenophis is heading down to the bottom of escape again, so Lackattack is going to be right behind him. Now, Lackattack does have a bit of an advantage here because with that Fighter Sword, we can actually do Pegasus Boots Dash with a sword in front and charge our way through the enemies.
Yeah.
And the guards in here don't take very much to kill, even with a Fighter Sword, so the hammer doesn't give that much of an advantage to Lenophis. When it comes to the ball and chain guard in the basement here, we can just throw a couple pots at him for a quick kill.
I usually like to take one pot and then use the hammer for the second. Or you can do that.
Yeah. Now, Lenophis took another hit there from the green guard and then killed it, so he's getting his bombs out so that he can bomb himself back to the front of escape. So, as Linkforce tells us in chat, we've seen the map, and the key was in the sanctuary chest, so there is one more item in escape, and it's in the Dark Cross room. So Lenophis is making his way there.
Lackattack looks like he will have to do a lot of damage himself. Or it's the same equation.
Yeah, he doesn't want to check out that Dark Cross room without the lamp. Lenophis is making his way through on just his 3 hearts. He's got a hook shot, so he can just basically poke his way around and kill or stun anything that gets in his way. I believe both the rats and the snakes down here will just die to the hook shot. So it's not a particularly dangerous play for him. But he is taking hits.
Lackattack heading forwards the uncle and gonna... Oh no, he's gonna head to Waterfall Cave and gonna find that book. Yes, 10 bombs down in the sewer.
And Lenophis uses his fire rod there to light the torches, which he knows is in the corner of the room, to see his way a bit. But they've already gone out, so now he's fumbling through the dark again. And he's only got 1 half heart left, so one more hit is going to finish him off. But I think if he runs,
scary.
Yeah, I think the rats only do 1/4 of a heart of damage. They are the weakest enemies in the game, so if he runs into one, he's okay. But if he runs into a bat or a snake, like he just did there, he is dead. Lenophis is giving up on that now.
He's out of there though. Probably gonna head up Death Mountain now, or head over to Metroid if there's anything there.
Well, we haven't really got much means of making a way through Super Metroid right now. Ideally, we're looking for the screw attack, the speed booster, or the... Oh, no, wait, we have got the morph ball. So, yeah, so we can make a good foray into Super Metroid now. We've got plenty of power bombs, and we also have the morph ball bombs, just if you want to preserve your power bombs, so... we are okay for Super Metroid right now.
The green pendant is in Swamp Palace.
Yeah, and that's never pleasant. Swamp Palace has a lot of items down there.
Usually it's a couple of pieces of hearts and some bombs though, so probably nothing to worry about.
So Lackattack's about to get their fire rod, and Lenophis is on their way up the mountain too, so retracing Lackattack's steps. So apart from the Sword and Paradox Cave, there wasn't really anything on Death Mountain. And we've got 2 choices open to our runners right now. They could go and clear out a bit of Eastern Palace, hopefully find an item there, like the bow or the power gloves. Or we could go into Super Metroid, and then think this Super Metroid play is looking pretty appealing right now with that morph ball.
We could also technically head into Tower of Hera.
We have got the hammer, so we can make a loop around the east side of Death Mountain, get to the top, and then use the hammer to knock down the pegs, get over the bridge, and into Tower of Hera. It is as a crystal, so and we have got the fire rod, so we're not going to be fire locked in there or anything peculiar. So we'll see what Lenophis decides to do. Well, that is a weird coloured guard in front of Link's house there. Strange shade of orange.
That happens to me more often than usual. And Lackattack heading over to Super.
Yeah, he did have a look at Blue Brinstar earlier, and we saw that the Spacer Beam was down there in the vanilla morph ball spot, so he may decide to return for that to give himself some early game offensive power. So Omega missiles are 20 rupees. They're called Omega missiles because on an NMG 100% route through the game, those would be the last item you get in the game before going into Turian and facing Mother Brain. And they are missiles, so that's why they're called Omega missiles, right at the end of the game. But lackattack is making his way to the bomb Torito here, and because he has got the morph ball bombs, we're going to get an extra fight in here. The Torito is going to wake up and be annoyed that we stole his morph ball bombs from somewhere completely different in the seed, and we've got going to have a quick fight here.
Or we just receive a reset.
Yeah, lackattack's just taking a hard reset there. Now, the bomb Torito does die very, very quickly to just a single missile and a super missile, because normally when you'd be fighting the bomb Torito, you wouldn't have super missiles. So, but lackattack is just choosing to take the hard reset and leave those items behind and just check out elsewhere.
Did we see what was on the floating island?
I did not know.
Well, Lenophis is not gonna sick at least this time around.
Missiles in a Terminator room. So lackattack has got a lot of missiles right now. He's going to check out the back of Gauntlet here using one power bomb to make his way to the top here. He's not going to be able to grab the items, but if he wants to grab the items, he can come over here. And it's just a hard container and a missile. And the frog thing that attached to lackattack here, that's got a very high drop rate for missiles, or for power bombs, so it's well worth his time to kill it. Lenophis is choosing not to go to Tower of Hell. They are going to be following lackattack into Super Metroid. It's a quite reasonable play to make. There's a lot more items we can get here in Super Metroid with the Morph Ball than we can possibly find in Tower of Hera. Tower of Hera is a crystal first, so we're going to have to come back to it at some point. We don't have too many super missiles left yet, so lackattack is just using some of his ordinary missiles to check out the early supers. Gets a nice mock ball for the room. The couple of items back here are out of logic because of that mock ball, but we find there's some bombs, an energy tank, and
we found
a
our
shield.
first shield.
Perfect to learn just for the energy tank. Health is, especially early game energy tanks are very valuable in Super Metroid. So one more item to check in this room. It's just +5 bombs. Lenophis gets their 20 rupees from the bomb Torito, and he is actually going to fight it. So 2 missiles, 1 super, and down it goes. Very quick fight.
Another energy tank for lackattack.
We're looking pretty good on their energy now. If we find some means of getting over to the wreck ship, we could take her on Phantoon now fairly easily. So Lenophis is on their way back to Samus's ship. Wonder where he's going to go from here. We have got the morph ball bomb, so places like the top of Criteria are in logic because the tournament is running on normal mode logic, so only a couple of tricks are expected of you from the game. One of those is the infinite morph ball jump, which is essentially you need morph ball bombs and you just lay down a bunch of bombs and make your way through the sky to wherever you choose to go. But Lenophis is going to make some wall jumps up here, and he's going to check the front of Gauntlet first.
He's struggling a bit though.
Lackattack making his way into Pinkminster, just using bombs. Bit slower than just using a power bomb there, but it preserves his power bombs. There's quite a lot of power bomb doors down here, or other blocks that we may choose to clear quicker. So very careful placement of that power bomb. Lackattack breaks the blocks there and kills the side hopper, and he's able to proceed into the side hopper room. Just 50 rupees in Mission Impossible. It's called Mission Impossible because if you have the high jump boots, when you fall down through that crumble block, it can, if you're very, very quick, just get back through that crumble block. That's why it's called Mission Impossible. You dangle down into a room to get an item, and then you escape back through the ceiling.
Meanwhile, Lenophis find the swag net.
So if lackattack comes back to check out the front of Gauntlet's area, he'll see that Balgnet, but I doubt he would be keeping it. Probably would be quicker just to take a hard reset back to Summer's ship. So you see in the back of Gauntlet, it's not that worth it. So behind Spore Spawn are vanilla super missiles. So we're going to get another clip of the super missiles here, and what lackattack is going to do, he's going to jump up in this room and try to get himself in position so that he can clip a super missile through the one-way gate on the right. If he gets in the right position, the missile will clip through the gate, hit the switch, and open the gate. He gets it that time. You can hear he got it because he heard the door opening sound. This is not a trick that's in logic. To access this item in logic, which is the power gloves, you'd normally need the Rave Beam.
That's pretty nice.
So if you know your Super Metroid tricks, this will get you a significant advantage here.
Only that moon pearl left for Dark World access. Where can it be?
Indeed. More power bombs at the Charles Beam location, and no speed booster yet, so cannot check out the waterway down there. We're going to have to leave that behind. It's always annoying to leave the waterway item behind because it's in a very isolated location in Super Metroid. It takes quite a bit of time to get back there. So lackattack is, he's going to go back to Blue Brinstar from here, and he's going to get his Spacer Beam and quite a few more items here now that we have the Morph Ball and Power Bombs to put a bunch of stuff in logic. So 5 missiles to the right of the side hoppers, and just coming up is the Spacer Beam. So he's going into Alpha missiles now. These are called Alpha missiles because these are the first missiles you get in the game compared to the Omega missiles. You saw the item bay above the mosquito. Oh, there's our
There
moon
is
pearl.
the moon.
So quite often I've seen runners when they're making their way through Pink Brinstar just not go back into Blue Brinstar, instead go into the Red Tower and towards Kraid and Norfair. So if the Lenophis doesn't make the play to Blue Brinstar from here, he's going to be at a significant disadvantage. He hasn't seen what items are over there at all, so it's quite likely he will be making the check. So nothing much in Billy May's room. Normally there's 2 items here, one on pedestal and one in that brick, but you get the pedestal item, you normally say, but wait, there's more, but it's just a +5 bomb, so, but wait, there's nothing.
I like that.
Yeah, Super Metroid has a lot of very interesting room names.
I can tell.
Link to the Past generally has really boring room names, like, say, K45, because nobody knows what to call it otherwise.
Touche.
Lackattack is checking out the item below Old Mouth Brain, and that just looked like rupees to me. And Lackattack may be taking a look at what is in Shaft Supers here, but we don't have a speed booster to actually get it. Oh, Lenophis uses their last super missile, but they didn't get the gate glitch, so they're going to have to go farm some supers if they want to get that item, which was the power gloves. So yeah, this could be big, but he's not leaving it behind. He's going to farm some supers here. Lackattack is wall jumping up here to check out the item. It's just a heart container. So when eventually we find the speed booster, we're not going to be going back for that item. It could be
taking a lot of damage.
Yeah, in the ordinary parachute, the acid there does a lot of damage, and Lackattack's have to be a bit careful here. You don't want to die. Deaths in Super Metroid compared to Link to the Past are far more damaging to your progress, because you will lose any items you picked up since your last save. Not unlike Link to the Past, where if you take a death, you can save and continue or save and crit. If you take a death in Super Metroid, you are going back to the last save point, and you lose everything you've picked up. There's a couple ways you can get around that in the combo randomizer, because if you take a screen transition to Link to the Past, that acts like you're saving your game in Super Metroid, and if you do a hard reset, you'll appear back at Samus's ship, but with all the items you picked up since when you exited Super Metroid. So Lackattack is back in Link to the Past now. He's got that glove, so he's going to... he's going to go to...
Village of Outcast.
Yep. Could also go into Skullwoods here too. We've got the fire rod, so we can clear it out. Getting some discussion about the infinite bomb jump in chat, and one person was asking if it's a glitch. It's actually not a glitch, and it's an intended strat by the game. When you're on the opening credits for... Oh, get a quick map check here. 5 and 6 crystals at Thieves Town and Turtle Rock, and pendants at Missy Mire, green pendants at Swamp. Anyway, as I was saying, when you're on the opening demo sequences for Super Metroid, you will actually see in one of the sequences, Samus actually doing an infinite bomb jump. So if you're attentive and pay attention to opening demos, like you should in 1990s and 1980s games, you can learn a trick or two, like the infinite bomb jump.
A missile pack and 50 rupees in the cest game.
Lenophis has made their range of blueprint stuff, so they are going to be getting that morph ball. Lackattack is heading straight into Thieves Town. Quite a few items to be found here, and it's a crystal, a 5-6 crystal no less, so let's just get it done as soon as possible.
Yep, 4 items in here. And we begin with the ether.
Did I say morph ball in Brinstar? I meant the moon pearl. Like, they're both spheres. They're both pink. It's easy to confuse them. Ooh, Master Sword there.
Nice, makes line fight a little bit easy. But if you are talented as these runners are, it still is very, very easy.
So Lenophis also on their way back to Samus's ship. They may also be checking out Shaft Supers, and well, they made us decide to leave it behind, and it's just a heart container up there, so nothing important. Yeah, they are going to check the item.
Just a piece of heart.
Lenophis also taking a bit of a dive in the ascent there, but takes less damage than Lackattack did. So they may decide to copy Lackattack and take the screen transition into Link to the Past to both save a Super Metroid game and go check out the Dark World, or they may decide to go to Red Tower from the top of Criteria.
Only time will tell.
From Red Tower, we can go down to Kraid's Lair and beat Kraid and get quite a few items along the way, so it's not a bad play. We can also check out a little bit of early Norfair. Then from early Norfair, we can take a screen transition there back to Link to the Past. So there's quite a few routing options you could do here.
And then Lackattack find that small key in the Maiden chest, so we will have to go and check the big key.
Just a compass fire. I didn't see if the Lackattack had picked up the map, so I'm not sure if there's one item left on blind or not.
He have picked up the map, so we have an item on.
Lenophis is doing exactly what I've talked about. He may choose to go to the top of Criteria here with a infinite bomb jump. Yep, that's what he's going. And this is an item check that is in logic for him, so definitely a heads-up play here.
Lackattack giving us a bit of music during the boss fight as well.
Yeah, he got out his green person as a safety, I think, realizing it's a green person, not a red person.
He has a red potion as well. I'm probably gonna want to take.
Oh yeah, there we go. Gets a blind kill.
Ooh.
Two swords in Thieves Town. Oh, and Lenophis got the wave beam from the top of Criteria. So that actually puts that power glove back in logic now.
That's good to know.
Yeah, so with that wave beam, Lenophis is able to shoot through walls and activate gates with blue switches from the other side. So an item like the power glove locked behind a blue gate wall like that, that's in logic now with that wave beam. He can also clip super missiles through green gates and open them from the other side, but that is not an intended strat by the game.
Lackattack continues with the Wheel of Outcast check. The bomb hat had the piece of heart, and there is 50 rupees in a seat.
Lenophis is actually subverting my expectations here. He's looking to do wreck ship. Now there's a couple of ways you can get across here. You can get a bit of speed coming from the previous room, morph into the morph ball when he lands that platform, and then use a springboard to get across using the additional speed that he gains to make your way across the gap. And it looks like that's what he's intending to do, but he's having a bit of trouble with it. Lackattack is heading... Oh, yeah. Lackattack's taking a lot of falls in Skullwoods here.
Is he setting up a death warp?
That would be pretty strange if he was, because if he death warp, he just end up falling out of that hole again.
Yeah. But at least he got a small key, so he doesn't have to head over the irritating way. Oh, there's a sub.
Can you dig it? Lenners is struggling quite a bit with making this trick. It is pretty difficult. Oh, yeah, he gets it this time. Nicely done. So we're going to be getting a pretty early wreck ship play from Lenophis. Now, wreck ship is pretty notorious for having a bunch of items that basically don't help your progress at all. It really depends on when you get over there. If you find an item like the space jump or the grapple beam early, which does put wreck ship in logic, you can sometimes find something over here. If there's nothing over here, however, Lenophis could be spending quite a lot of time finding strictly nothing. So first item is 5 missiles. Now he's going to be going into Phantoon here. He's
Meanwhile,
got 3
lackattack
here.
heading to the back of Skullwoods. Want to go and kill them?
Yeah, he's got half magic and blue mail. The only thing he's got to be careful about is his number of hearts.
Yeah, the worst boss fight in the whole game.
I don't know, Vitreous can be pretty nasty if Vitreous pops up early in logic, but you're lacking things like the silver arrows or even the bow. Fighter Sword Vitreous is not pretty.
Lackattack pause a minute there just so that the hand can come and the wall him. Fall him.
So Lenophis is taking on Phantoon now. He's kind of in the same kind of state he would be in if he was doing this in no NMG any percent. He's got a little more energy tanks than he would otherwise would, but he's still got to play carefully with Phantoon. He does quite a lot of damage.
Ooh, Lackattack on one elephant. Ooh, barely gets it.
Nicely done. He gets a fire shield for his troubles. Now Phantoon is damaged enough where one super missile should take him out. There we go. Phantoon takes a lot of extra damage from supers, but if your super missile does not kill Phantoon, it sends him into an enraged state where he just hangs out at the top of the room, completely invincible for about 30 seconds and just spams fireballs at you. So if you use a super against Phantoon, you are looking to kill him with that super missile. Lenophis making her way into towards the so-called spiky. No, sorry, wrong room, never mind. You might want to skip the spiky room of death because he's pretty low on health now, and in just a pass use, it's very, very damaging to be caught under the spike set. I believe if you're caught under one of the platforms, it does over an energy tank's worth of damage.
Only 50 rupees on top of Bone Croc as well.
Ooh, charge beam in Vex ship.
Nice.
So that gives a lot of additional offensive power to Lenophis, and it also puts 2 bosses in logic in Super Metroid, Ridley and Mother Brain. You can kill both of those bosses without the charge beam at all. It's perfectly possible, but to put them in logic, you need a charge beam because unlike most of the bosses in Super Metroid, Ridley and Mother Brain, they have no farmable drops. You cannot farm missiles or super missiles from them. So if you run out of missiles for killing either boss, you are soft locked.
And we have Hype Cave Sec here from Lackattack. He begins with the silver
arrows.
We got the butter sword. But yeah, that was a lot of arrows in that cave.
I guess we call this the attack power cave. I give that a 6 out of 10 just for that.
Yeah, no, you never say no to silver.
So we're going to be looking at a really easy Ganon fight later. Lackattack chose to take a save and crit there. Did he check out Stumpy and Digging Game earlier? I honestly wasn't looking.
I was looking at Lenophis, so I don't know.
Given his routing, yeah, he went straight to Hype Cave, so he would have checked out Stumpy and Digging Game. So what we saw there was Lackattack take a save and crit to Death Mountain, and then he's taken the door there on Death Mountain to get into Norfair. So high jump boots is just super missiles. Lackattack is a bit lacking, haha, on energy right now, so I doubt he's going to make any hell dives into Norfair. Hell dives being essentially going into the heated rooms in Norfair without the Varia suit, so you're going to be taking a bunch of damage in there. It's just going to be taking a very quick look at the item here. And it's the X-ray scope. Ooh. So we've got the charge beam from Wreck Ship. We've got the X-ray scope down there. If we can find the plasma beam, we can get some microwave strats going. Microwave essentially is a technique where you use the charge beam and the plasma beam plus the X-ray scope to get a lot of plasma beam hits on bosses that normally you wouldn't have the plasma beam for. Most notably being Dragon. So the plasma beam will travel straight through Dragon, and normally he gets some invincibility frames for that. But using the X-ray scope, you reset those invincibility frames, and he takes a lot of damage from a single charged plasma beam. That's why we call it microwaving.
Right.
Ooh, the Varia suit in the top of Wreck Ship. Wow, Wreck Ship is paying off today. Did Lackattack see what the item was there? Because I didn't see it myself. I was looking at it, but I missed the item. So this Varia suit in the top of Wreck Ship is actually really good for their routing now, because they can clear out the last few items in Wreck Ship, namely the stuff around the vanilla gravity suit here, and then he can go down Red Tower, make his way to Norfair, take out Kraid, and then go into Norfair and clear out most of it with that Varia suit. So this is extremely good routing. Ooh, Lackattack misses the quick kill on Kraid, so he's going to stand up and be a little more annoying. Gets a missile hit in there, but it doesn't do much damage. There we go.
Ooh, the Red Cane. Cane and Samaria.
I don't think I've ever seen this many items in a Wreck Ship before. This is incredible for Lenophis.
Wreck Ship is loaded today.
Just 20 rupees at the gravity suit spot though. And there's one more item here. The Lenophis didn't check this out earlier, and it's at the bottom of the sea. Oh, that's a gravity suit down there. So French vanilla gravity suit is just one room away from where it normally would be. Wow.
On a scale, how would you rank Wreck Ship today?
9 out of 10. So what we saw just there on Lackattack's side, he was low on health, so he does it. And when you're below 50 energy, you can pull off a trick called Crystal Flash, where you consume 10 missiles, 10 supers, and 10 bow bombs to completely refill your energy and reserve tanks. It's a great trick to know for when you're low on energy, but you've got to be careful with it, because you can only do it when you're on 50 energy in your last E-tank. So lackattack's making their way into the bottom of Red Tower now, whilst Lenophis is in the top of Red Tower. So we'll probably be getting a bit of a high five from them, and then we'll see if lackattack also decides to go to Wreck Ship. As I've mentioned before, Wreck Ship is pretty notorious for having nothing worthy of progress over there, so a lot of runners like to put it off now, and lackattack is not going over there. He's going over to Norfair and probably back into Link to the Past.
Yeah, there is a few stuff you can check over in the Link to the Past. We have Pod. If it's bow locked, too bad, but there's still a lot of stuff you can check. So good.
He could just be taking the screen transition to save his game and then warp to the subs ship by hard resetting, but he is back on Death Mountain.
He's climbing up to Hera.
Yes. It is the crystal. It's been in logic for a while now with that hammer. Lenophis is going into the X-ray room here. So there's a couple ways you can make it across here, and if you're going to do this in logic, you need the space jump or the grapple beam. But what Lenophis is going to do is he's going to get on the spikes here and start doing infinite bomb jumps. And this is pretty difficult because when you take damage from the spikes, it will send Samus flying off into a different direction and won't put you in a perfect positioning for taking the bomb jump, which will just send you straight upwards. So this is out of logic, and I believe it's out of logic. Perhaps chat can correct me if it is in logic, but it's still a very difficult trick to pull off. Oh, but he gets in one try. I suppose with a spring ball, it does make it much easier.
And we will have to head into basement for the Power Hera.
The technique that Lenophis pulled off is a logical technique, but I'm just not quite sure if these spikes put it out of logic or not.
In meanwhile, lackattack decided to take a little coffee break.
It just supers in the X-ray room, so this was not necessary. Still, X-ray is one of those areas which is really out of the way of anywhere else in Super Metroid, and if you leave it behind, it feels bad, especially if you're missing like one or two items for gobos. The nice thing about the bugs in here, the ones that emit the lights, is that they have a particularly high drop rate of power bombs, so it's a good farming spot if you want to top up your power bombs. Gil checks in chat is one of our runners in tournament, and he has checked that infinite bomb jump to the X-ray room, even over the spikes, is in logic. So thank you, Gilgatex. So Lenophis, they're on their way to Kraid. They could also make a bit of a journey into Meridia with that gravity suit, but I imagine they'll probably be doing the upper Norfair first. For Meridia, they are really looking for an item like the space jump or the grapple beam, or the speed booster to put most of it in logic. And there's quite a few items that are in Meridia that are locked by speed booster blocks, so you can use tricks to get them, namely clipping through the walls using snails or Metroids to get those items, but that's pretty advanced.
Lackattack during the night enter the ring at first. And And the 102 troll door.
So Lenophis is also at Kraid. Now we'll see if he manages to get the crit kill. Oh no, he's standing up. He missed one super there, so Kraid's about one hit away from death, one super, but he still gets to stand up. Well, Lenophis just using a charged wave beam there to finish him off. So Trolldorm getting...
There goes Trolldorm.
With a gold sword, he's not too hard because he can essentially just slash at him once and then poke him to kill him, but he still gets his trolls in.
Yeah, that was 2 drops there. That's a 4, isn't it?
So 3 crystals for Lack, none for Lenophis, but Lenophis has a boss advantage right now, and a particularly huge advantage in terms of progression items thanks to that wrecked ship.
Yeah, that was a really good gamble.
Lackattack's having a think about where to go now. He thought about going back into Norfair, but he's floating away instead. He's gone to 4, but he is going left. Okay.
Is he checking shovel?
Yeah, looks like it.
So did he then float to Link's house later? I don't know. Whatever.
It looks like he's going back to Super Metroid here. I think he's... Yeah, he is going back to Super Metroid. He's probably going to go to Stacked Ship from here. Progress Ship. Lenophis, meanwhile, is making a main trip into Norfair now. Now, because he's got gravity suits, he can also get over to Ridley's Lair from Norfair here. Essentially using that infinite bomb jump to get to the top there. So what you see a lot of runners do is a technique called lava dive they take off gravity suits and do a bunch of tricky wall jumps to get to the top there. You can also do a gravity jump to the top there where you dive down into the lava, you jump, and just as you jump, but before Samus launches into the air, you go into your pause menu and remove a gravity suit, which gives you a huge amount of momentum in your jump in the water, or lava in that case. So there's a couple ways you can get to Ridley's Lair, but we've got a way that's in logic anyway, so Lenophis can take his pick from whatever he so chooses to get in there. Linkforce, I think Infinite Bomb Jump would be in logic down there because he's got the gravity suit. But if I'm wrong, please do somebody correct me. I didn't see what item that was at the Crumble Tower in Norfair, but it looks like it wasn't anything useful because Lenophis is just taking the hard reset. So Lackattack gets a Wave Beam.
Wave Beam, nice.
Thank you, Gilgatex again. Yeah, the enemy shooting there would put in a bomb jump out of logic because essentially when you're bomb jumping up there, you're probably going to get sniped by those wall enemies, and that would send you off course. So lackattack's going for a shorter dash than Lenophis here. Well, no, he's transitioning into the next room now. So he's going to open the door, do a sprint over, jump to the platform, and do a springboard jump over to the other side. Lenophis, meanwhile, is checking out Bubble Mountain in Norfair. Quite a lot of items to be found over here.
Ooh, lackattack nearly got it.
Lenophis is topping up his energy from the enemies here, so he doesn't have the speed booster. So a funny trick of this room is that if you have the speed booster when you exit out of it, the lava's going to rise up and chase you to the end, requiring you to use the speed booster to escape. If you don't have the speed booster, it doesn't really activate the flag that would make the lava rise up, so you just get a nice casual exit out of here. And just 50 rupees in that spot, and another 20 in just above. Lenophis is going to use a mock ball here to make his way out of here a bit faster.
Come on, lackattack, you can do this. I believe in you.
Yeah, I think he needs to get more speed by going into the other room.
Can't you just take the hook shot from Link and use that to get over? That would be so much easier.
We've got a hook shot. That's essentially just the same thing as a grapple beam, right? Just hook shot over to those blocks and swing across.
Yep.
I think there was one of the Zelda games that had you like swinging across gaps with a kind of like hook shot analog, right?
Yeah, I think it was Miniscap. No, not that Miniscap. It was Oracle of Ages that had. Oh, right. The grapple hook. You know, that's a Wind Waker. And Skyward Sword. There's a lot of items, games that have had that.
Yeah, I haven't played any of the Zelda games myself beyond the Wind Waker. Unfortunately, I dipped out of the Nintendo consoles after the GameCube. GameCube giving me a pretty sore experience because it's the only one of my console that's ever broken on me. The disc reading laser just completely failed after a couple of years. I really want to replay some GameCube stuff sometime, especially Metroid Prime. So Lenophis not really finding anything here over at Bubble Mountain. And they are going to go on their way to Crocomire with that Wave Beam. And lackattack is determined to make this jump. I mean, we know it's going to pay off for him if he manages to do it, so I hope he's going to keep at it. So, say hi to Crocomire. He's a friendly guy. He sometimes spits a few rocks too, but mostly just roars, and Simons just decides to give him a lava buff for really no good reason, other than the fact that there's an item behind Crocomire, and we want to get that item, and it's just 20 rupees. A lot of people like to call this the Pendant Dungeon of Super Metroid because Crocomire is strictly optional content. You don't have to come down here, it's just item checks. But more often than not, Crocomire does have items behind him. Always bet on Croc. And we see that lackattack has immediately gotten that gravity suit after they finally made their way across, so very nicely done. He's got to be really happy about getting a gravity suit after making that jump. I don't think he can jump high enough to wall jump up there, Lack. Oh, he's going for a gravity jump. So as he saw there, he went into the menu. Well, he jumped, went into the menu, removed his gravity suit, and got a much bigger jump than normally possible. So thanks to that gravity suit, lackattack's going to have a bit of an easier time with Phantoon here. Meanwhile, Lenophis gets the high jump boots behind Crocomire.
That's nice.
So we've got more infinite bomb jumps coming our way. And as you can see, with the springboard and the high jump, the springboard goes really, really high. First item is a blue rupee. So one more item behind Crocomire, and I don't think Lenophis checked out the cosine room yet, so he'll be doing that on his way out if I didn't just miss it. He's probably going to want to keep those high jump boots, so he's just going to be making his way out of the Crocomire area rather than hard resetting.
And he finds a horde of rubies.
Yeah. And a piece of heart in the cosine room. But yeah, Lenophis wants to keep those high jump boots, so he's just going to make his way out of here. Ooh, that was a super missile that lackattack got on Phantoon there, so this is what I was talking about earlier. He gets raised, sits at the top of the room, and just spams fireballs at you for ages. I think he meant to use his normal missiles there, but just clicked onto his supers by mistake, so... So Phantoon's nearly near death here. I think one or two more missiles and a super should take him out at this point. Misses the missile hit there. Lenophis, meanwhile, is going into Ridley's lair. Okay, one super takes care of Phantoon, and he is dead. So it looks like Lenophis is going for another gravity jump here. You can see the huge momentum he gets, and he takes him to the top of the room really easily. So lackattack's going to clear out the wrecked ship and find tons of items in here, and then see where he decides to go from there. Imagine he's probably going to do the same thing as Lenophis and goes to lower Norfair after clearing out upper Norfair. But so he's going to be a little behind Lenophis in terms of Super Metroid checks, but he has got 3 crystals done already. Lenophis doesn't have those yet. So what we just saw Lenophis do there was a green gate glitch, where you get yourself into the... If you're going into through a green gate from the right side to the left side, you can get summons into a position where you fire a super missile and it clips through the gate and hits the green button on the other side, opening it. Only works from right to left, though. So here we have the golden chorizo. There's 2 items here. One is out of logic right now, and there's no possible way to get to it because we need the space jump for that. We are going to be able to see what it is, though. So Lenophis has just enough super missiles to basically stand on the chorizo's foot and just feed him lots of missiles. And we saw that the space jump locked item was 50 rupees, so we're not going to be needing space jump for that.
Lenophis is over now with the Mire area. Mire
Yeah.
is even.
Yeah, there is an entrance to Maya in Lower Norfair, just by the golden chorizo. And this is actually funny because in the combo randomizer, the flute is never logically required to clear the seed because you can always get over to Maya using that door.
And there is the ice rod!
Alright, well, we do need that. We also need a Titan submits to even get into Turtle Rock, so... and this is one of the checks you would generally make when you have Titan submits and flutes pretty early on, so... when lackattack makes his way here, he's not going to really be hunting much for the ice rod for Turtle Rock. Just depends where those Titan submits are, though.
There's so much stuff that's locked behind that at the moment, so we want to find that.
Given both runners routing right now, lackattack's probably going to do the same thing. Dip into Lair Norfair and get into Maya from there. So Lenophis is farming some supers here from the Rippers in this room. They will always drop super missiles, but you can only kill them with a couple of attacks. So he's using power bombs to kill them off here. So Lenophis is now in the worst room in the game. It's actually called that. You have a bunch of space pirates here climbing up the walls. They will fire beams at you and jump across and be really annoying. And you can only kill them with charge shots. And to get to the top of this room, you have to do all kinds of wall jumps and power bomb the ceiling and make your way past a bunch of stuff. If you don't have items like the high jump or space jump or even the screw attack is particularly useful here. It is extremely annoying to get through. Now, the room that Lenophis is coming up in here is called the Mickey Mouse room. We didn't get much of a look at it, but do you see why it's called Mickey Mouse?
Yep, that's the 3 rings there.
Yeah, there's one other room in the back of Ridley's lair called the Three Musketeers room, so called because of the 3 key hunters there that are essentially really annoying to get past, do a lot of damage to the summers. But another name for that room is the Franca Z room, and you'll see why it's called that when we get there.
Lackattack, meanwhile, doing his own jumping. Doing some bomb boosts. He is gonna pick up the suit as well.
Lenophis, checking out the last few items in the area before Ridley, finds a convenient energy tank there. That's nice for going into Ridley with. We call that room the Room of Shame, because if you're going into NMG and down to Ridley, you don't normally check that item unless you're lacking ammunition, because I think it's either super missiles or power bombs. I don't remember which. But you only check it if you're running low on ammo for whatever reason. So you check it and cost yourself a bit more time in any percent out of shame. So Lenophis is going to be farming a bit of ammunition here before going into Ridley. So he clears the door with a super missile, and then he's just going to kill the bugs here and collect their super missiles. The trick to killing these bugs is to get them flying together in synchronization so that you can make them fly across when they are above someone's standing position, and then kill them with one shot. So long as you're killing them together, you can keep them nicely synced. If you don't want to bother with the synchronized way of killing them, you can also use a grapple beam to very effectively farm them. You can kill them with a grapple beam, and you can also pick up their items with a grapple beam. So you just stand on the rock and aim downwards and diagonally, and just grapple all the kills and the items.
Meanwhile, lackattack picked up his Ganon summon.
Lenophis is fighting off against Ridley. The best way to kill Ridley usually is with super missiles. Super missiles normally do 200 damage. Against Ridley, they do 600 damage, and they are by far the fastest DPS way of killing him. You still need quite a lot of supers to do it. So what Lenophis is doing, he's using a couple charge shots. With the wave beam and the space beam, they do quite a bit of damage, so it's worth using them if you want to. You can also just throw a lot of regular missiles at Ridley. The objective with Ridley is to get him nice and glowing red, and when he's damaged enough, you've got to let him pick up summons, and then he decides that the summons is too fat and just decides to explode and break apart. So a nice Ridley kill there from Lenophis. Ooh, plasma beam behind Ridley. So we're only lacking one beam in Super Metroid now, and that's the Ice Beam. As far as offensive power goes, we are maxed out in Super Metroid. The Ice Beam does very little extra damage. Ice Beam is mostly for convenience. It puts a couple things in logic that you would use Ice Beam jumps to get to, and it freezes the Metroid Centurion so that you can kill them easier. So we saw the X-ray scope earlier. If Lenophis goes back to get that X-ray scope, we can get some microwave beams going in Meridia. Can't quite remember where it was. Perhaps Tracker can remind me and probably yell at me for forgetting. I really need to take more notes when doing Super Metroid races. Shout out to our tracker, by the way, Link40. He is an excellent tracker with a lot of experience.
Yeah, he makes our job easy.
So we've got the last few items in Ridley's lair here, in the Ridley escape area. This is a pretty notorious area for finding the moon pole in previous races. But we got that pretty early on, so we're not going to be finding it here today. Still could be finding some other annoying item like the bow here. So we'll see. So we've got the Three Musketeers room coming up on Lenophis' side. But you see why some people call it Franca Z first. It's just got to get across the acid here. Drops a bomb here, and see the shape of this room? It's Franca Z. Now these are the
Can we
Three
get some
Musketeers.
vacancies in the chat, boys?
These are the Three Musketeers. They do a lot of damage to summons, and they get in the way. If you've got enough energy, you can just run through them, or you can just kill them with the means of plasma beam or screw attack, or just shooting a lot of missiles or other beams through the gap. Lenophis has pretty much cleared out Norfair now. We see if he decides to go get an X-ray or not. We don't have the grapple beam, so if we want to kill Dragon, you can kill him with super missiles, but it's generally a lot slower than just using a grapple beam or microwave beam, courtesy of the X-ray, charge beam, and plasma beam. So as Lenophis is making their way out of Upper Norfair now, we see Lackattack making his way through Upper Norfair. And yeah, he's going for that X-ray scope. It's in a pretty convenient location for him on his way to Meridia, so it's going to make two bosses in there extremely easy. Phantoon, the eel that you find in the wall, and Dragon, the necessary boss for clearing Super Metroid.
And then Lenophis picks up the X-ray.
At the moment, in terms of progress between our two runners, Lenophis has a... They've mostly got the same items as each other now. Lackattack will be getting his high jump boots in Norfair and going on his way to Ridley. So in terms of checks done, Lenophis is quite ahead in terms of Super Metroid checks, and he's also got one more boss, but Lackattack has gone through a bit more Link to the Past than Lenophis has, and has got 3 crystals already. Lenophis has cleared no dungeons in Link to the Past yet, so it's difficult to say who's ahead at this point. So we're starting to get our first few checks in Meridia done here. It's a bit annoying because we're going to have to make our way around with wall jumps and infinite bomb jumps if necessary. There's a lot of items in here that are logically locked by the speed booster. So what, Lenophis is in what's called the Mama Turtle room, so called because of that huge Mama Turtle. He sees there's power bombs on top and 20 rupees on the side, so he's not going to go back to get those. Yeah, ideally for getting around Meridia, we would have the speed booster or the space jump. Ideally, both. So, Lenophis is going to be making a way to the top right of this room using the gravity jump again, which he did to get into Ridley's lair. So he's got to jump, get into his pause menu, remove the gravity suit, and he's doing something different here. He's turning off his spring ball, and yeah, not quite sure what he's doing. Right, he gets it this time. Oh, but no, he doesn't get it. He he falls down again. Lackattack is trying to make their way to the top of Bubble Mountain with bomb jumps. You often see people doing wall jumps here to get to the top instead, on the right side. It's pretty difficult whatever you do because the lackattack on top of Bubble Mountain, it just sits there and spams projectiles at you and will damage Samus and knock her backwards, back down the mountain. So Lenophis heading over to the watering hole in Meridia now. 2 items to be found here. That is
And
a
the mirror.
Yeah.
Ooh.
So we don't need the mirror. Swamp Palace is only a green pendant today. Depends what we find elsewhere though. At the moment, the bow,
We
the game.
could need it. It depends.
Yeah. At the moment, we are looking for probably a medallion for Turtle Rock, just in case it's not Ether, and the Titan Smiths, and the bow. And the bow could be pretty much anywhere in Link to the Past. It can't be in Ganon's Tower, because Palace of Darkness is a crystal. It could be in Palace of Darkness itself, and it could be in Swamp Palace. So there's a couple of items in here that are locked by the speed booster, but so what Lenophis is going to do here is what's called a snail clip. So the snail on the ceiling there, he has to get into the right position. Then what Lenophis will do is stand on top of the snail, which will force Samus slightly into the ceiling, and then Samus can clip through the ceiling and make the way to the top without the speed booster. But it looks like his positioning was off, and he's going to have to use another. Oh no, knocks that one down. He's going to have to use another snail to get it into position there and try and snail clip their way through to the items. There are 2 items up there, and he can check one of the items up there by just looking from the other side, but there's another item in there that we cannot see without actually going up there. Yeah, that snail is... Oh,
There we go.
So
It's a water with an arrow capacity upgrade for it.
10 arrows and power bombs. So next we have the sandy pits in Meridia. Now you saw him take a save early in the room because if we don't find any worthy items down here, the Lenophis is just going to hard reset the game and go back to that save room so that he can get over to the other sandy pit much quicker. Well, lackattack is on their way to Croc. So say hi to Croc once more.
Hi, Croc.
So 10 hours and 50 rupees in the other sand pit. So Lenophis is going to descend down the bottom here. And there's one item that Lenophis can get to here that he actually cannot reach, which is behind the notorious wretch called Shaktor. But there's no way for him to get to it at the moment. You need the grapple beam to be able to logically get there. You can also use the ice beam to get an enemy in a position so that you can do something very similar to the snail clip and clip your way over to Shaktor's area. But we can't do either of those, so we're just going to leave Shaktor rotting in the back like he deserves. So Lenophis is actually not heading to Dragon and Bottoon at this point. They're going back into Link to the Past. I think he wants to go clear out some dungeons now and see if he can find the space speed booster or space jump. So he's going to start off with Skullwoods and Thieves Town. We saw Lackattack do this earlier.
Well, the ether is there, so that is at least something he can pick up.
Yeah, the ether only gets us into Meridia, which is a pendant dungeon. It's not a appealing prospect. Oh, he's thinking about this pendant because look where Lenophis is going.
Ooh.
It's an energy tank.
Well, not a better time to check that. He could have checked that while clearing out Skullwoods if he wanted to, but
Yeah, he's got the mirror for that, so it's especially convenient to check it at that time. It's not much of a time sink though. It doesn't really cost him a lot. Lackattack has his high jump boots from behind Crocomire now, and they are on their way out. We'll see if they decide to go down to Ridley's Lair too. Both Lackattack and Lenophis are very experienced Super Metroid runners, so they know all about the tricks like gravity jumps and lava dives and so on. So Lackattack can quite easily get down to Ridley's Lair if he so chooses. And we know he's going to get the ice rod from the Meridia area if he does decide to go that, so it will be beneficial for him. Lenophis gets their own shovel from the pedestal. Pedestal? No, Skullwoods. I was going to say, the race I was tracking last night had shovel on the pedestal. One runner actually went for it and went for the pool. And they went to the dig spot afterwards, and it was only an energy tank. They were looking for the flute at that point, which was their last item necessary for go mode, and there was a significant risk of the flute being in the vanilla dig spot. So they went for the ped pool.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah,
I was gonna say, were you sad for it not being anything good on pen?
Yeah, in that race, the flute was actually go mode, which was quite unusual because the gravity suit was actually in Ridley's lair itself. So the logic expects you to get the flute, get into Maya, and get into Ridley's lair that way so you could pick up the gravity suit.
Lackattack heading over to. Oh, I'm stupid. I have a feeling this gonna have to be something on Sora.
I've seen Sora having important progress items quite recently. So it looks like Lackattack isn't actually going down to Ridley's lair. He's going to get his X-ray scope first. So he's probably going to be taking a short dip into Meridia now, or he could be making his way back to Link to the Past. We'll see. There's nothing really much in Meridia that he found, that Lenophis found. So yeah, Lackattack is going back into Link to the Past, so he saves himself a bit of time here.
Meanwhile, we have the moth fight once again.
Yeah, Moth's hanging around the bottom of the room, which is pretty convenient.
Lackattack is gonna head back to the back of Escape.
Yeah, we actually haven't seen this yet.
That's quite surprising, to be honest.
Okay, the burn, missiles, and super missiles. Well, that puts Spike Cave in logic now. And Lackattack is on his way to South Dark World. He's already been through here and gone to the Hype Cave, so that's why he's looking particularly well equipped with the gold sword and silver arrows right now.
It looks like he's heading over to check Stumpy.
Yeah, he was in this spot earlier and took a save crit. I think that was possibly by mistake. So there's 3 items he can check over. Well, no, 2 items because he doesn't have the mirror yet.
Well, it's time for everyone's favorite game, and that is the digging game.
So Lackattack is in about the same kind of progress spot as the Lenophis right now. He doesn't have the mirror if he wants to go check Spiral Cave or a couple isolated items. And he doesn't have the Ice Rod if he decides to go to Turtle Rock.
And in 17 digs, he finds a piece of heart.
Looks like Lenophis is going to be checking out the back of Escape with a side tour to Graveyard Ledge and King's Tomb first, making use of that mirror. Wonder where Lackattack is going to. He cannot get into Ice Palace yet because... Oh, he's going to go into Meridia from the back way. So he's going to go to the last entrance to Super Metroid that we haven't seen yet, and this is the back door to Meridia. So he's going to swim over to the Dark World side of the Ice Rod Cave, and one of the entrances there will take you behind Dragon. It's especially nice if you're in go mode for Super Metroid, because you can just go take this back door, get very quickly to Dragon, kill him, and then make your way back out of Meridia.
Well, I've never been here before, so I'm glad something is here.
So there's a couple items around Dragon that Lackattack can get, and after he beats Dragon, he's also in a pretty good spot for checking out other areas, like, say, Plasma Beam. Now, he doesn't have that Plasma Beam itself yet, because that was behind Ridley, but he's got the X-ray scope, so maybe we'll just see some space away from microwaves. And, well, no, we can't. We need the Plasma Beam for that. Never mind. So Lenophis is making their way into Feast Town, and they're going to find a bunch of swords here.
Yep, there were 2 swords in here. Time for another boss fight for Lackattack. The 4th sword was in Tower of Hera from Moldor.
It's actually in Hype Cave. I forget what Moldor dropped, but it was nothing important. So Lackattack gets a lot of super missile hits in there on Dragon, and he's swimming around pretty fast. A few more hits to finish him off. Ooh, gets stuck in the Great Goo there, so he's going to have to break free. No grapple beam to fry the shrimp today. So a nice quick Dragon kill for the Lackattack. So like Ridley, there's 1 item behind Dragon. And a couple more items he can reach now too. Ooh, red mail.
Red mail.
So Lackattack hasn't done much of Meridia yet, unlike Lenophis, but he does have that Dragon kill now, so he's going to be spending some time in here, but probably a bit less time than Lenophis will be. Ooh, he gets a bit stuck in the sand here and is taking the fall down. Like I said earlier, we're not going to be making a raid to Shacktor. He can rot in his own personal corner of Super Metroid. But we'll see if he goes for the snail clip here. It wasn't anything useful because he sees that 10 arrows, and the other item was just 5 power bombs, so looks like he's just choosing to avoid it. He's going to take the save here and go for the sandy pits.
And we have yet another blind fight, this time for Lenophis. And we have a hard reset from lackattack.
Lenophis gets down by blind and gets their own tempered sword, and I imagine they're going to be going to Hype Cave and getting their silver arrows and gold swords straight after.
Yep. At least he's gonna pack his way over there.
He will be able to go into K45 taking the south route here. So Lackattack is on his way to the west side of Meridia. There's a couple ways he can get to Plasma Beam, so he's choosing not to take one of them just yet. But he is ascending to the top here, and he's going to be getting to the Rotting Hole and possibly Plasma Beam from here. There was the mirror down here in the watering hole, so Lackattack's about to pick that up. And that ties him up with accessible locations in Link to the Past with Lenophis for Lackattack. Still needs that Ice Rod eventually, but he'll get it when he beats Ridley.
And Lenophis is gonna skip out on that tank.
Yeah, there's only one mirror check as far as I know. He has gone to Graveyard Deads, and that is Checkerboard Cave. We can get over there. Can get over there multiple ways. But the flute is going to be... well, no, we don't have a title submit, so the flute's not going to be convenient. Until we find them.
I wonder if he's gonna head over and check the tablet after this.
So Lenophis gets a pretty decent Hype Cave. And Lackattack's going back down the sand pit again.
Yeah, Lenophis is heading over to Bombos.
Ooh, lackattack getting danger. Oh, he has got reserve, so he's not quite in the danger zone yet. But the health warning in Super Metroid is very fast, very annoying.
Wow, Bombos from Bombos tablet.
It's been a while since I've seen a vanilla medallion.
Yeah, it has. Well, that will at least make ice pellets just a little bit quicker once we get there. But
Lenophis is
Lenophis heading into Swamp Palace.
yeah, Pendant Swamp.
Well, it was a greed pendant, so at least has some value.
Lackattack was lackattack was taking a safety save at the just outside Meridia.
I was gonna say, I see that the tracker is having just one thing to say about.
I think he's suffering a bit of PTSD right now.
Looks like it.
I'd say the problem with most races I am commentating or tracking is that the bow is particularly notorious for being in really awful spots. It's a recurring pattern for me. So lackattack takes a hard reset after seeing what's in the Mama Turtle room, so he's going to go back to that safe room. I think that only leaves Plasma Beam.
Now, what route is Lenophis gonna go? Is he gonna do the left side first or head up to Argo?
Depends if he finds a map or compass here, really. I mean, he's essentially hunting for items here in Swamp Palace. He's not going for it for any kinds of progression, and he's seen what's on the pedestal, which is just an energy tank. So he may just be going. Yeah, he's just going to go straight left. If he finds a map and compass on the side, it's going to be a bit of a time waste, but eh. If he finds nothing in Swamp Palace at all, it's just going to be a time waste in general. So lackattack is going for Spike Cave.
I think it's going for Ether.
No, he's proving me a lie. He's not going for Spike Cave. He can do that after he gets Ether Tablet. It isn't logic right now. For Spike Cave, you need the Cane Burner or Magic Cape plus half magic. A bottle with magic in will suffice too. And you can just brute force your way over there with bottles anyway, but that's not quite logical.
Well, he found the super missile and he's out of there.
Yeah. I think he's going to go Graveyard Ledge from here. Because he's got that mirror now and he's going to be starting to do his mirror checks. Green rupee on the left side.
And an E-tank on the right.
Okay, so we know that the map and compass are going to be coming up in the next part of Swamp, so the check was worth it, the items, not so much. So we can't check the big chest yet. We'll be finding the big key somewhere. If it's on Argus, we'll have to go back inside. If it's earlier, we may be seeing the really annoying stairs glitch.
Meanwhile, lackattack is checking Graver Ledge and King's 2.
We saw this earlier and we knew it was nothing of any particular value.
Nope.
A couple of dungeons we haven't seen either of our runners go into yet that they can dip significant portions of, as well as Swamp, is Eastern Palace and Palace of Darkness. Wonder which of our runners is going to be the first one to make a play over there.
Surprised that I haven't headed over to Eastern yet, since that one is notorious for being double dipped.
Yeah, no lamp and particularly no bow makes it pretty icky because it's going to be partially sequence break and partially completely locked. So lackattack is he's taken the route from Gravy Ledge to jump across the river, and he's going to be checking out the Catfish and Zora area. We can pay up the king now, at least.
Let's see if my prediction is true.
He can't lift up that rock, but he can bonk the rocks, or just jump down the ledge. So Lenophis has got his map. He hasn't got his compass yet, so it's either going to drop from Argus here, or it's going to be in a big key chest, so he's not going to be dipping back into the dungeon.
A hard container from Catfish.
Oh, it's a big key from the Argus, so it's going to be the compass and the big chest. If it was a compass from Argus, the big key would be locked inside the chest, so you can never pick it up.
I imagine the guy who accidentally locked in the big key in the big key chest is gonna get fired.
Lenophis is going back in for that big chest. Okay, what does Zora have for us today?
It was a
Cash,
life
cash.
lesson.
Yeah. And he's just leaving it behind out of spite. Lackattack is on his way out of the Zora. He's got that mirror portal saved, so he's going to be going back into Dark World and checking out the pyramid, and probably giving us our first look at Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace. Ooh, Kraid. Wait. That was Kraid in Big Chest. I must have said the wrong items. Okay, that's all medallions for Lenophis. Okay.
Well, at least we're not gonna go on scavenging hunt later to get into TR. And Lenophis is gonna head back into Super Metroid.
He's going to do the same thing at Lackattack did, which is take the back door to Dragon. He has cleared out most of Meridia already, so it's strictly the Dragon kill for him.
And it was just a piece of heart on the pyramid. So time to head over to Pod. Or not.
Yeah, Lackattack skipped the hobo earlier, so good times rooted in now with a mirror. I think it's just a big 20 from him. Yeah, big 20.
Your memory serves you correct.
Yeah, my memory is pretty dodgy these days. I'm getting too old. And by too old, I mean 30, so goodness knows what I'll be like in 20 years or so.
Don't be too hard on yourself.
Lackattack's not headed over to Pod. Where is he off to? Oh, he's going to go to K45. So we got a little bit of extra microwaved shrimp here. Doesn't quite get the one shot, but this is taken down. Yeah. Crispy shrimp for Lenophis.
Really beautiful work there. And it looks like lackattack is gonna get his bombos. Meanwhile, Lenophis picked up the red mail.
The story of this seed so far, D8 Storm, is we've basically been dipping between both of the games to find our items so far. The area with by far the most items was the wrecked ship. It had the gravity suit, it had the cane of Samaria, it had the... what else did it have? I forgot. I need to eat more fish, probably. Hey, maybe I should have some Dragon for supper tonight.
That sounds good.
Lackattack's also going into Swamp. I mean, there's plenty of items you can find down here, but there was nothing that Lenophis picked up at all that was of any worth to him. The only thing we've got left is that green pendant to hand in.
We also had the various suit over there.
Ah, yes, that was it. Yeah, the various suit.
And Sword Beam.
Lackattack drained the dam and then took a save and crit. Okay.
He only has Spike Game left here. No, he's gonna end into Super Metroid.
I think he's going to make a trip to Ridley now. So he'll get his plasma beam behind Ridley. I don't think there's much, nothing else down here. Lenophis is giving us our first look at plasma beam. With the plasma beam.
So
Just
we
3
had,
bombs.
he saw the bombs were vanilla. Can we expect that bow is vanilla?
Significant chance of that. Now, I was hoping that Lackattack's routing, if he did go to Swamp Palacer, he'd get that green pendant, then he'd head over to the pod area. I mean, he does need to do learn Norfair, but he's going to waste a bit of time checking out extra items here. The ice rod was in the Maya shed. Lackattack has not been into the... well, he hasn't been into Learn Norfair yet, so he couldn't take the door to the Maya area to get that ice rod. But he'll probably be getting it pretty shortly. Once again, we see another gravity jump to get into Ridley's... Lackattack is taking the save here. He doesn't have the space jump, so he cannot check out the space jump item. So if he sees the item there would be no purpose in him hard resetting. He doesn't have many super missiles for the golden Tuizo. So he might be, instead of looking to farm drops from the Toitzo and killing it, he may just want to see the items, hard reset, and then go back down again.
Looks like Lenophis is gonna head over to the pod area and probably turn in his green pennant.
Yeah, so it's going to be a first look at what's over here. So green pendant is bow.
Ooh, and Lenophis showing Salsa exactly how he would feel in that position.
Given that lackattack thought about going into swamp, drained the dam, and then decided, nope, I'm not going in swamp, but this gives Lenophis a pretty clear advantage right now.
That bow was so bad that even our tracker got another PSD attack. But yeah, that's a really big item to find for Lenophis, because I don't know if lackattack is gonna check out swamp anytime.
The only thing that could hold Lenophis back here is I'm not quite sure about his experience with Dark Rooms. Like, I have no idea about his link to a past experience. If he knows the Dark Rooms in Pod and Eastern, he's going to have no problems though.
I spent far too many hours practicing dark rooms in the pod.
He's cleared Super Metroid. All he has to do there is get Mother Brain.
So Lenophis is in go mode? No, he isn't. He needs a mitts.
Oh, well, yeah, I always forget about his mitts. There.
A tiny detail.
One of these days I'll have to keep remembering about those gold gloves. Keep thinking, nah, he can get past the rock. He's got power mitts. It's fine. It's not fine. He's not strong enough yet. So yeah, but he's still going to be full clearing for stuff. So we know where the bow is. It's locked by the green pendant. Who knows when Lack will decide to go clear out Swamp? Considering he was thinking about it, almost went in, and then decided, nope, I'm out of here. I wanted to go do Norfair instead.
I can imagine that lackattack is gonna be even more displeased once he gets the green pendant and finds.
So compass above the harmless hellway. Lenophis choosing to use the torch there to light up the room. He'll probably he should be able to make his way through the dark maze without needing lights. And when it comes to the annoying turtle room just before Helmasaur, he can light a torch there too and see where the turtles are and kill them. Ooh.
And he found powder in the hallway.
Well, that opens up Magic Bat. We haven't seen the mushroom yet either, so we haven't been able to do a fake powder check. He's making his way through the dark maze now, using the holding the sword out and charging it to get the sparkles to help him navigate. Ooh, lackattack taking
First tick is a hot container.
lackattack taking quite a bit of acid damage in that room, so got to be careful coming up.
And 5 rupees is the second check.
It's a piece of heart. And Lenophis is on his way to Helmasaur now. Lackattack gets through the rust room in the game with very little energy remaining, though he has got some amount of reserves. I'm not sure how much.
Hi, Mickey Mouse.
Takes a hit from the space pipe there and dips into his reserves. And yeah, he deliberately takes some damage to get down to 50 energy, and he's going to do another crystal flash. Although I think you have to be below 50 energy, so this is too high.
Well, he got more energy there otherwise, so.
Gotta be careful in this room because there's the acid and more gold piles, and he takes a hit there. Ooh. Now he's in a safe place to do Crystal Flash. But no, he lacks power bombs. He can't do Crystal Flash.
I am right now holding my breath for him.
Lenophis is using that fire rod to light the torch in the turtle room so that he can see the turtles. They do walk in a fixed array towards Link when you're in the room, so it depends on your movements in there. If you are very careful with your movements and where you hammer, you can kill them all really quickly without needing to light the torches and see what you're doing. But if you are particularly unsure about how you do it, and you really want to be doing that room with a lamp or the fire rod, fumbling around in the dark trying to kill the turtles is really, really dangerous.
But he succeeds and is able to get to Hammerlock King.
Helmasaur goes down with 0 problems. And what is he holding? It's just missiles. Okay, so we're still looking for those mitts.
He's probably gonna dip into Eastern now.
Yeah, he can full clear Eastern. He doesn't have the lamp to make it logical like Palace of Darkness, but he's got enough experience with Dark Rooms that he can do it anyway. Oh, lackattack.
Lackattack takes a death.
Yep, he saved just a little while before, so it doesn't send him. It sends him back about a minute, but yeah. He jumped into these gigas there and took that death, and it's still going to leave him with low on energy, so he's still You can't just tank his way through. He's got to be careful. Energy tank is the first item in Eastern. One more hit and Lack is dead again. Yep, there we go. Oh, this is unfortunate. Lenophis gets the triple stealth spawn in here because he took slightly the wrong route through that room. So normally you would spawn the top two stealthers off screen so they never appear, and thus you only get two spawning in the room, but we got a free spawn. Costs him about 2 seconds, 3 seconds. It's a big loss. Map in the big chest, and we saw the compass earlier, I believe, so we're going to be checking out the vanilla big key chest. In the dark, although this is one of the easier darkroom checks to make. What lackattack did there was he actually went past the de-skeekers, saw that energy tank in the room of shame, and with no shame at all, refilled his health for free. Missiles from the big chest, so compass is going to be on Amos.
Where are those myths?
I mean, worst case scenario, they could be lurking in Misery Mire, however, the grapple beam is lurking in Misery Mire, and then the mitts are behind Shackle, but that is really worst case scenario.
Time for Ridley again.
Low Norfair is not in logic right now. Both our runners have decided to take gravity jumps in the entrance to Ridley's lair to get inside. So runners do have access to Mire, it's just not in logic. We would need to find the space jump for that. Lackattack takes down Ridley pretty quickly. Nicely done. Lenophis takes down Amos and gets nothing for their troubles.
Time for Batcave.
Lack gets a plasma beam behind Ridley, but they already took out Dragon, so it doesn't really benefit them at this point. So, Magic Bat. What is he going to curse us with today?
Batcave. Yes, the piece of art.
Curse of partial more life. In the vanilla game, he says, "Aha, I'm cursing you. I'm going to double your magic consumption," but he actually halves your magic consumption, so the bat is not very good at cursing you. Lackattack's going to be making his way out of low Norfair now, doing the same checks that Lenophis did, but not going to be finding the mitts. Oh, and now we get the 20 back of escape check from Lenophis.
That is a late one if I've ever seen one.
Now he could make his way to Dark Crossroom from here because he's got so much health in Red Mana that he could just tank it. For I think he might have gone there earlier in the dark.
He went there earlier,
Yeah, he did. Right.
Let's see if we can head over to Spike Cave now.
Spike Cave or Norfair. He hasn't checked out Ether Tablet yet. He also hasn't cleared out Tower of Hera. If he remembers, he should be checking out Spike Cave after Tower of Hera too. It's as good a time to check it as any because you'll get a full health and magic refill from Moldorm. Lackattack had the opportunity to do this earlier, but he was in the area with the cane, but skipped it. Lackattack's backing up in Norfair now.
And one more to say for Leno of this also is that Lackattack didn't have the mirror when he went to Tower of Hera, so Lenophis, his trip is going to be a little bit fast.
Thing Lackattack needs to do right now is head into Disgusting Green Pendant Swamp, kill Larkus just for that green pendant, hand it in, and get the bow.
And Lenophis is going to have a little bit of a coffee break.
I'm not sure what was quite happening on Lackattack's screen there. His music was still playing, but his screen was frozen. I don't think it was his stream. I think he had a softlock of some kind, maybe? He did just take the hard reset. Right, yeah. Oh, no. That was a softlock, so now he... Oh, God. He didn't save after Ridley.
Oh, that's a huge setback.
Yeah, this is going to set Lack back even more. This is so unfortunate. Now, I have no idea what would cause a soft lock in that door transition. So perhaps, chat, would you have any ideas about that?
I am going to check to see if anyone knows. So apparently that has happened to him before, so that's sad. And apparently last time that happened, his save file got deleted.
Lenophis is heading into this with kind of the same equipment as Lack. Lack also had the gold sword from Moldorm, but Lack got pushed off the platform 2 times. This time Moldorm played quite nicely with Lenophis and didn't push him off. So a nice quick kill, and then let's see if he goes into Spike Cave from here. He really, really should. We're running out of places to check.
Come on, go there. He's thinking where to go. He's out of there. He's gonna head over to Desert Palace to probably do land mode.
Link Force our tracker reminds us that all the items in desert has been found, so he's clearing this pendant for nothing. It's going to cost him a little bit of time, but not nearly enough to matter at this point for poor lackattack. Lack is out of missiles, getting low on health. He's got to be careful here. Ridley doesn't look nearly pink enough to be in Death Path yet. Okay, Lack still had some reserves, so he's saved for now. But ooh, this is close. I think the grabs will kill him at this point. No, not yet. Needs more damage.
And he's dead by that.
He's already beaten Ridley. This is so unfortunate.
Yep.
Lenophis gets their compass from Land Molars and their blue pendant, and he did see the pedestal earlier, which is just an energy tank, so yeah, waste of time, but not doesn't matter at all at this point. It's going to take a really big disaster for Lenophis for Lack to catch up.
Okay, sending up Death Mountain again.
He's got his hookshot out.
Okay, come on
no,
now,
it's just,
Lenophis, do it. Do Spy Cave now. We want to see what it is.
He's just using his hookshot for the ladder speed. Thought he was going to go over to east side for some reason. Okay, Spike Cave.
Yes.
What have we got? Oh no! It's a grapple beam. Shack tool.
Yeah.
And he wasn't happy about that either.
Nope. So what left do I have left to check then?
He's actually just running out of here instead of taking the save and crit. Just get him to Norfair a little quicker and then over to Shack Tool. I hate Shack Tool with a burning passion. I mean, at this point, if Shack Tool is probably hiding the Shack Tool is probably hiding the Titan's mitts, so at this point, since Shack Tool has an item, you just say re-roll the seed. You never want a seed with Shack Tool in it. If you're forced to check Shack Tool, just re-roll the seed and start again.
could also be space jump, because that would put Mr. Meyer in logic.
Actually, Lenophis is going through Norfair again. So, we're skipping Shacktor for now. Lackattack's having his fourth fight against Ridley.
I think it's third. But don't quote me on that.
Oh, that was a
he
really
does it though.
good Ridley kill. Nicely done by Lack. Oh, did Lenophis not check out the left side of Bubble Mountain? Interesting. Yeah, we saw this early on Lack's side. And it does power bombs and 300 rupees. So Lackattack's got to make his way back out of Upper Norfair again. He knows he didn't find any items worth anything. Except the plasma beam behind Ridley, so he, for his own sake, he is probably going to be taking the save after Ridley again.
Let's hope it does that this time.
Where is Lenophis going? Oh, I know where they're going. They're going back into Lower Norfair to check out Maya.
Yep. And another grav jump.
He is taking the save. I do not blame him one bit. Chat is brainstorming about where these myths could be right now. There's still quite a few things we haven't seen yet. I mean, we need to find a lamp at all this space jump for stuff to be in logic right now. At least if we're going to be going in Maya. So all this Lower Norfair stuff is still strictly out of logic right now. So,
We can have a shuffleboard check here from Lenophis.
Yeah, Lackattack did this just a little while ago. In his first trip into Lower Norfair.
Just 100 rupees.
So, we're going to be seeing Misery Maya. There's, I believe, 2 items to be found here.
Yes, there is. It could also only be one, depending if Victor's has that item. But you have to see if Lenophis can do those dark rooms. He did really well in both Eastern Palace and in...
I missed what happened on Lackattack's side. He's back in Lower Norfair again. Something happened and he's gone back to his safe room.
He did a hard reset.
He's taking an acid dive. What's he up to? Does he want to go to Misery Maya from here?
Potentially looks like it.
This is going to be nasty for him. He hasn't got much health left, and the acid slowly rises in his room. Can't use the speed boost to get through here, can't use the screw attack to get through here quickly. So we're going to be dipping in the acid. Ooh. Just gets through.
Lackattack's gonna have to stop with that because Unam will be out of breath.
Now he's got to do this green gate clip again. Yeah, gets it this time. Takes another acid buff, but the rippers do very little damage. So he's back into Rizzo area. He's going to transition back into Link's Past, which saves the Super Metroid game and will put him back at the ship when he next goes there. And he's not checking out Maya. He does have the Ether Medallion to get inside, but there's many other places he can check right now. But considering the effort it takes to get to Maya right now, I'm surprised he actually didn't do it right there and then.
Yeah, that is surprising. Well, we're gonna have to wait a little bit longer before he finds his ice rod, but it looks like he's gonna head over to
Yeah, it looks like he's finally making the swan play. He's gonna feel clear it, find nothing, then eventually hand in that green pendant and get the bow. Well, he's mirroring. What's he doing?
No! Lackattack,
No!
no!
Yeah, he's giving up on it in the second time. No, he's gonna go straight to pod. Ooh.
Oh, I feel so bad for him now.
The worst thing is, he's thought about going in there twice. The first time he actually drained the dam and then decided, nah, I don't want to do this. The second time he took the portal and then decided, nah, I don't want to do this. So, oh man.
Yeah, he's gonna feel like shit later, I tell you. Well, that was
20.
our first item.
Yeah, just a big 20. So one item left in here. And then we've got to consider the waterway, shack tool. I don't think there's anything else.
And there's a second item.
Looks like he's going to go pick up his map and compass and vitreous skill now.
Yep. Even though he will get nothing for it. Nope, he's gonna mirror out.
Okay. And now comes the slightly delayed menu screen of thinking. Where can I go? Says Lenophis to himself. What haven't I checked? Where is that speed booster? Or, well, where are those Titan Smiths hiding? Where could speed booster be? Where could space jump be? Or lamp? What am I missing in this logical sequence that I should have gotten?
He's
Now
heading back to eastern area. What has he missed here?
Not the Pyramid Fairy, that's Turtle Rock. I don't think he's done Catfish yet. Lackattack did Catfish.
All right.
Yeah, he hasn't done this whole Pyramid and Catfish route yet. Don't think he's paid King Zora yet either for the Big 20, so... We've seen all this already on Lackattack's side, but Lenophis has such a huge advantage right now that there's really no way that Lackattack can catch up short of a hard crash or something. So Lackattack is now blocked in Eastern Palace. He's probably going to go to pod here now, clear it out, not find his bow, and then be immensely, well, maybe frustrated, maybe laughing. I don't know his temperament about these races.
Gonna be 3 out of 3 now.
Third try Swarm. He still has his beer portal.
Looks like it.
Lenophis gets his heart container from the Catfish and is now staring at the map, wondering what he can do.
in terms of overworld, there's nothing he can do here.
Best
So
possible.
he has to head over to Super Metroid.
The best thing for lackattack right now is for Lenophis to completely forget about Shackleton and Waterway and not check those out, and instead be scanning the world, wondering what he's left behind. This is really the only way that lackattack can catch up right now.
Yeah. Well, it looks like lackattack decided to finally head into a swamp. He's having a really hard thought about it.
I mean, he did rage slash at that grapple a lot. He's got to be thinking Shackleton, right? Oh, no, he's staying at the map again. Oh no.
These times it's really good to have a map tracker.
Okay, he's going for the rechecks now. So he did sick hit already. The sick hit is already rake. Oh no. Oh no, this is lackattack's time to catch up. Oh no.
And he was so close to one of the checks he hadn't done yet.
Just Waterway or Shackleton. And he has completely forgotten about them. Oh no.
He's gonna check Lumberjack. But there was nothing there, if I remember correctly.
He is so angry right now. He does not know where to go. We know where to go. It's Waterway or Shackleton. But Lenophis unfortunately has forgotten about those, and now he's making checks that he has already done.
Little happens when you go outside of the logic. It can be so easy to just get trapped in a.
No lab, no speed booster, no space jump. So he's headed back into Super Metroid, and if he starts re-clearing Super Metroid and thinking about where he's got to go here, maybe that will lead him up to Shackleton and Waterway. Now, one thing about the combo randomizer is that when you switch between games, the map data isn't saved. So, like all that big area around Crocomire down there, although Lenophis has been down there, it doesn't show us explored anymore. So that may throw him off track a little bit, but we'll see where he goes. He's going up into Meridia direction, which is good. He's checking his map. He sees Waterway over there, unexplored. Does he think he has been there, or does he think he has skipped it and should go there? He is having a good long think about this.
Yep. Doesn't lackattack have bombos already?
Oh, of course, he can't do the Waterway. He doesn't have the speed booster for that. So it's literally his only option is Shackleton right now. He's headed up into Meridia. If Shackleton is like hiding speed booster, then yeah, this could be still unfortunate for Lenophis. Okay, he's on his way. Shaktul, my eternal nemesis. So lackattack is going to get their Argus kill in, and he may dip back in to get the big chest, which will cost him a little bit of time, but he's going to get that green pendant, heal a hand in the green pendant, and finally get that bow. But Lenophis is on his way to Shaktul. Is Shaktul going to have mids, or is he going to have something really dumb like Speed Booster or Lamp? It's got to be Speed Booster at this point. Or
that or mids. If it's lamp, then I have no idea where we go next.
Actually, given the logic of the seed so far, I think it has to be Speed Booster, and Speed Booster has to be hiding something else like Lamp. Well, a Speed Booster could be hiding Titan Smiths, and then Titan Smiths could be hiding Lamp. My brain is a bit scrambled right now. I think it still could be Mitts, but
Well, don't worry, we are approaching the 3rd hour, so it's only natural.
careful with those plasma beams. Yeah, okay. Lackattack's going back for that big chest, of course. Lenophis isn't even checking out him. He knows he's something here. It's the Titan's Mitts. The power bombs has chosen a statue for good measure.
And a few super missile as well, just for the sake. And if I'm not mistaken, aren't we in go mode now?
We are now. We don't have a lamp, but I don't think Lenophis cares too much for the lamp. So, yep, we're in go mode.
So, at officially 2 hours, 48 minutes and 30 seconds, we are in go mode. So, one.
Lackattack is on their way to Paths of Darkness again, along with the green pendant, so he's going to get that bow. I think he's pretty sure that bow is from Saraswala, so he's just going to be taking Mirror Portal here, collecting that bow, and then going right back into Palace. Yeah, that's a bit of a wrong spot to Mirror, but doesn't cost him much. So Lenophis is immediately going back to Link to the Past, and they've got to go clear out Ice Palace and Turtle Rock. There's nothing that's going to be stopping those dungeons. Not unless Lenophis is really, really bad at the Dark Samaya maze in Turtle Rock, but I doubt he is. He's shown quite a particular skill with the dungeon so far and the dark rooms he has cleared, so it shouldn't be posing any problems for him. But we're going to get Ice first. It would be pretty silly if we find a lamp or speed booster down here. Or space jump.
That is right now what I'm assuming we're gonna find here.
Lenophis isn't even opening. Did he even open a chest in that pen-gated room? Didn't look like he did.
I don't think it did.
Yeah, he's essentially in go mode now. He doesn't care for lamp or anything else.
Nope.
Misses his first bomb jump. Falls down the pit again. And again. Yeah, that looks
There
good,
we
yeah.
go. That one is one of the
Falls in the
hardest.
pit again.
I was gonna say this one is one
And
of the
again.
hardest bomb jumps to learn, and we can see why. It's a double little imperfect.
And once more down the pit. Look. Once more with feeling. Oh no. If he takes another fall, he is... Yeah, he's in a bad spot now. He needs a potion. Gets across again. Falls down again. Oh no.
This was the only thing missing really at this point. At this point, I will just go and hit the switch and don't care about this bomb jump anymore.
Makes it through this time.
At the same time, lackattack within his hammer, and he's gonna get his super missiles for it.
Lenophis is just going straight to the basement. Ice Palace Go mode is particularly fast because you don't really need to check any items in here at all if you can do the bomb jump. Ooh, lackattack's going back in pod for unchecked items. I mean, he knows he needs items, but we know he's not going to find anything down here. Lenophis just using the firewall to nuke the cold stare ice cube instead of the bombers, but the cold stares get loose from him, so he's gonna have to spend a bit of time.
Yeah, that
Slashing
ice
him
there
with a gold
was
sword
really
anyway.
unfortunate. The ice there knocked him right off, so we're gonna get the speed. But he gets it nonetheless, and he gets an E-tank from it.
So we're finally on our way to the Dark Death Mountain.
We see a little hammer bomb jump here being set up by lackattack.
We're not going to be checking out Hookshot Cave or Super Bunny or anything at all, really. We've got Gold Sword, we've got Red Mail, we've got Silver Arrows, there's nothing else we need for Link to the Past, and for Super Metroid, we have the Charge and Plasma Beam to make Mother Brain easy, so yeah, we are done. And the possible thing could be maybe the ice beam for Toa, and it would make Toa it a little faster for killing the Metroids in there, but no matter. So Lackattack is making his way through the dark maze now, again with no lamp. We have no idea where that lamp is. It's probably somewhere in Ice Palace or dark side of Death Mountain, or even in Turtle Rock at this point.
I wouldn't be surprised if it is in Turtle Rock, to be honest. I have had the lamp been there multiple times.
So Turtle Rock is Bombos today, and Bombos was from the Bombos tablet.
Yeah.
Lackattack's getting a bit lost in a dark maze now.
At this point, even I don't know where he is.
Yeah, he's using sword beams and then the boomerang once he takes a hit to find his way. Okay, he's got the heart container now. That was
So
in
he
the Norfair
is a
chest.
top. He's a top.
And now he's got to make his way all the way to the bottom and get the other chest and then find the bomb wall.
He did the bomb jump to get in here.
Oh, did he? Okay, I wasn't. Did not see that.
Started to get a little bit sleepy over there.
A little bit hungry.
Yeah, me too.
I was out all day, and when I got back, it was very close to race start time, so I had no time to make myself anything. So, yeah.
The irritating thing is that my family has gotten a pizza, and that pizza arrived 1 hour ago.
So, Go mode Turtle Rock isn't that much faster than non-Go mode Turtle Rock. You do have to check quite a lot of chests along the way to find your keys and big key. It's not really worth gambling to skip any chests, because if you leave something behind, it's pretty time-consuming backtracking through Turtle Rock to get the key you missed, so you may pick up some incidental items along the way. Maybe
Yeah.
that lamp or that speed booster. Or even space jump.
He's not gonna check the big key chest though.
He has got the big key, given my list earlier. So
Okay, I missed that.
and he's got one spare small key, so so he's going to go to the right here and skip the big chest and Mimic Cave. Kill the Hokuboku for a... Oh yeah, no, he's going out by the Mimic Cave direction. Okay, never mind.
Lackattack is gonna go in and finish off Eastern.
So yeah, Lenophis has one small key here. He's going to get another key. Well, he's going to go to back here. Hope he gets another key from this chest on Laser Bridge, and then he'll be able to get to Trinex. Now, once we beat Trinex, Lenophis will be on his way to Ganon's Tower, and we'll be starting the big key guessing game at that point. If you're a subscriber or supporter of any of the Speed Gaming channels, so you have a subscription to any of the channels or have donated 250 bits across the channel, you can enter a big key guessing game and guess a number between 1 and 22 for where that big key in Ganon's Tower is.
don't do it yet though. That
Of course not.
that's been
Lenophis has
activated
to.
when
Trinex is
Trinex
beaten.
is.
Of course, I know. But Lenophis is not at Trinex yet. He's got to make his way through this one last dark room. And he gets there with no problems. Okay. Is lackattack back in the Dark Maze again after exiting? No, he's in the Eastern Palace.
Yeah,
He's in the Eastern Palace Dark area now. I'm sorry, the last like 5 minutes of lackattack has mostly been black screen. So, try next. We've got the gold sword, so this is going to be an extremely easy fight for Lenophis. 3 hits per
only
head.
need 3 hits. And
Five
let's see if he
if
can get a quick kill though. He has the right setup for it.
It would be a little slow if he had tempered sword, but not that much. I think it's 5 hits per head with tempered.
And a beautiful the Trinex fight coming in from Lenophis. So yeah guys, get your numbers in now, because now is the time where the bot has started. One to 22. Where is it? What do you think it is?
I'm always going for my guess of 19. I always
Alright.
love the big heat behind ice armors. Especially in Randomizer, where instead of ice armors, you end up with Trinex and ice or other delicious things.
Yeah, definitely. I have one place I always guess, and that is in Rando Room. So we have to see where it is.
So first item is a small key. Second item, 20 rupees.
And he's gonna do right side first. Lackattack visiting the bat in the meanwhile.
So it looks like lackattack is on his way to Spy Cave now. He's going to get that grapple beam, and then he may be thinking immediately Shack Tool. So he's making up a little bit of time here, but he's unfortunately Lenophis has a huge advantage right now. So numbers 3 to 6 were nothing, so we're going left side.
And a small key on the doors.
For number 7. He's headed to Norfair, so he's immediately going to check Shack Tool, probably. This is good for him. So he will get his Titans there. Number 8 is Map. Number 9, Mirror Shield. Number 10, Energy Tank. Number 11, Small Key. Firebar Room, number 12, Compass. I mean, number 13. Number 13.
There you go.
Number
A
40.
piece of heart.
Piece of heart. Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Time
See
for
where
my
Lackattack is now? He's not in Meridia. Go past
Oof,
Meridia.
that's sad.
He hasn't checked out X-ray room yet, so he's going to be doing this with a grapple beam. It's not too far away from Meridia, so... Oh, there is Space Jump.
All right. At least you found it.
Right, so Space Jump wasn't logically required for this seed. Any items you find in Ganon's Tower in the combo randomizer, you are not expected to be able to clear Super Metroid with any items you find in Ganon's Tower.
Looks like Lenophis wanted to do a little cool dash there into the wall to skip that transition, but he missed. And we have a hard reset from lackattack.
Bob's chest coming up. 20 rupees. So it's behind Isomas.
Or its entire
Ooh,
room.
do I get to win today? That'd be nice. Could be in Tower Room, yes. Nobody likes Tower Room.
Given this seed, I wouldn't actually be surprised if it is there.
So, number 19. 10 hours. 20, small key.
21!
big key.
Is there anyone who guessed that high? I don't think I saw anyone. Yeah, we have one, I think.
Closest guess from the supporter was 20 from D8 Storm.
I see that Slavebot66 got it right in the chat, but maybe it's not subscribed.
And somebody was very kind enough to donate me a gift sub on Speed Gaming 3 last night, so I was hoping to actually get the win for once. I won that leaderboard. I've got a month to do it.
Yep.
So it is the Christmas season, so if you're feeling generous, I'm not going to ask you to donate a gift sub to anybody, because that actually involves money, but please do give Lenophis and Lackattack a follow. They've put together an amazing race so far, and have broken our hearts on many occasions too.
They have been doing as good as they can. The seed has not, though. The seed has been very, very bad to us.
So entertaining, though.
Yep, that means more entertainment for us. It looks like lackattack is actually heading in the right direction.
Yes, he is. He took that hard reset after the X-ray and is now getting back to Shacktor a little quicker. So since the space jump was in Ganon's Tower, the game actually expected you to make a... well, you can make a high jump, springboard jump out of there to get up there, so that's okay. That was logic. Right. So, Lackattack attacks Shacktor already. And Lenophis is on their way up Ganon's Tower. They have made their way through most of the gauntlet now, so just a couple more rooms left. You should be able to... Oh, missed one of the Samaya projectiles on the Riz robes there.
And he will pick up the Titan Smith, and lackattack is gonna be at go mode at 3 hours, 11 minutes, and 36 seconds. And there we have the cape and the speed boost.
Speed boost at the top of Ganon's Tower. So, where was Lamp?
It must have been in Ice Palace or TR then.
It's got to be in Ice Palace.
There was one, I think it could have been in Big Keys as in TR, right?
Yeah, it can be in Turtle Rock before the Dark Maze.
Or in that little cave.
Yeah, it could be in the Mimic Cave too. I have seen it in Turtle Rock before in the vanilla Big Key chest. I've also seen Bo there. I've seen a lot of items there, all really annoying.
And we have the validation check as well.
So, Aga 2. That's first hit is a double. Nice. 6 hits will finish off Aganon.
And another double. And the third double. So you just have the pig left.
Nice. 2-2-2. Lackattack is now on their way to Ice Palace. Maybe he'll find the lamp down here. Depends how vigorous he is with it.
I imagine that he's gonna try to just run through this, considering the time. So what do Ganon say today?
Snail facts.
Yep.
I mean, we got some snail clips earlier, so it's quite appropriate.
Yeah.
Now, Lackattack is checking out the chests in Ice Palace, so hopefully he finds his lamp here. If he doesn't find his lamp here, I'm going to be confused for the rest of the week.
I'm gonna be confused for the evening, then I'm gonna forget about it tomorrow because I don't want to remember this.
The arrows were in Hype Cave, along with the sword upgrade. Not a bad Hype Cave.
Definitely not. Gets the double at the end there as well.
So get your single Gs in chat for Lenophis. He has completed half a game. Just 1 G. No more, no less. So now Lackattack is attempting his own bomb jump in Ice Palace, and he's getting low on health. Lenophis is actually going back into Kraid from the Fortune Teller's hut instead of just taking a hard reset. Bit unusual because most runners will just take the hard reset so they can take a dip in Samus's ship and refill all of their ammo and health before going into Muffin Brain. But as you can see on Lenophis' side, he's got plenty of ammo anyway, and oh no, he's going back to ship anyway. Okay, so it would have been faster for him to save and crit and then hard reset. At our own Dakric, the play of a match that gave Lenophis the advantage was mostly going into Pendant Swamp, getting the green pendant, and then getting the bow from Shalashashka. Lackattack unfortunately has had quite a lot of trouble in particularly lower Norfair, where his game has glitched out, causing him to softlock and lose his Ridley progress as well, so he had to go re-kill Ridley, as well as actually taking a couple deaths to Ridley in the process. It was actually on his way out of Upper Norfair and going into Lower North, out of Lower Norfair and into Upper Norfair that Lackattack actually had a softlock on the screen transition. And he hadn't saved after Ridley, so he lost a lot of progress in the process.
And lackattack decided to use bombos compared to Lenophis, which used fire rod to get the cold stare out of the ice and barely survives as well.
So we never found Ice Beam in this seed, so we have to use 3 power bombs each to kill these Metroids currently sitting on Lenophis's head. The idea being he gathers up all the little Metroids and then power bombs them all down at once. Couple more Metroids to kill, and then Lenophis will be at the baby Metroid. Now, again, I don't quite know his experience with Super Metroids. I'm not sure if he's going to go for a baby skip or just to go for the method of draining his energy before getting latched on by the baby Metroid. I almost called it the Super Metroid. I guess it is the Super Metroid.
It kinda is, yeah.
Let's see what he does. Right, he's taking off his suit, so he's going to be taking extra damage from running into the side hopper here, and also the baby Metroid will drain his energy really quickly. So it's the next fastest way of getting through this room, short of using the wave beam and trying to space jump around the baby Metroid. He's put one suit back on, but that's not going to change anything because he's on 43 energy. But the baby Metroid grabs him, and it's immediately done leeching off his health. You know, Lackattack is making their way into Turtle Rock. Okay, so no ice beam, so I doubt Lenophis is going to go for a Zeep type skip. You can do it with a speed booster too, but it's tricky, so he's just going to kill them with regular missiles. Luckily, we're well equipped with beams for Mother Brain. We've got the charge, plasma, wave, everything but ice. So we don't need to be particularly conservative with our ammo here. Leno breaks the tank with ordinary missiles and then attacks Mother Brain with super missiles to get her into the next phase. Whilst the Lackattack is now making a dive into Turtle Rock. So now Leno is just using Char's plasma shots against Mother Brain, which is the highest DPS available to attack her with. See if he knows how to do the stand-up glitch too. If he does, he can get many extra attacks in on Mother Brain and save himself a bit of time in the last phase. So he's in the catch-up beam phase now. A few more hits will get ready to fire Hyper Beam. And Lena's now running into her leg to get his energy low enough. He's got to be on 7 energy tanks. And when this Rainbow Beam is done, he's still not enough energy to stand up. So he jumps into Mother Brain a couple more times to dip his energy to his last energy tank, which forces Mother Brain to do her last Rainbow Beam. But Lenophis is still active, so this is the stand-up glitch. Now he actually fell to the ground there. I think. Not sure if it's. Yeah, he's still moving. Yeah, he is still active. So now he's just doing a lot of extra hits against Mother Brain that he couldn't normally do. And let's call it the Super Metroid. The Super Metroid flies around a bit and is then going to latch onto his head, and he's going to just keep pumping Mother Brain full of charge shots, whilst the baby Metroid is stuck on his head. He's got to be careful that he's not jumping he's not on the ground when the baby Metroid detaches from Mother Brain's head, because that can cause him to softlock. So he's still got a few more hits. Now, Leno has to be careful here and not fire off a charge shot or have his beam charged up when the Hyper Beam becomes active, because that will also softlock his game. Because a charged Hyper Beam is not a thing that exists. But he avoids the softlock, a few more hits takes out Mother Brain super quick. And that is both major bosses. Yep, both major bosses down for Leno. Now all he has to do is escape the Turian and escape Planet Zebes, and he will have our first place finish.
Is he gonna save the animals or not?
No self-respecting speedrunner should ever save the animals.
Yeah, only Twitch chat does stuff like that.
I didn't see the lamp on lackattack side in Ice Palace, so
and
he's just
he didn't take the big key says or Mimic Cave, so it's either of those two locations. We just don't know.
Guess we'll never find out.
Nope.
And he takes a bit of a detour to get that powdered anti-fairy there. Leno gets a speed booster up the Turian shaft. Whilst lackattack is facing off against Trinex. Leno wisely chooses not to save the animals, so he's got to help in the ship here. And Leno finishes. Yeah, with an official SRO time of 3 hours, 25 minutes and 22 seconds, Lenophis is our first place finisher. Get your GGs in chat.
GG.
Sorry for the loud volume. Lackattack gets a kill on Trinex. Now, judging from IRC, it does look like Lackattack has forfeited, and I don't think he'll be joining us for an interview today, but it looks like Lenophis is already here. GG, Lenophis.
Hello, how you doing?
Doing great. That was a super exciting, fascinating, entertaining race. especially when it came to where are those Titansmiths? So, talk to us about Shackle, would you?
Those Titansmiths. This is the second race in a row. Now, I did the tracking for the Commodore Pansnick race last night, and Titansmiths was also the go mode item, and that was one of the last checks, and it was stupid. And I swear the Titansmiths have been on some souped up steroid logic lately, where it's always going to be one of the last items to find. Total, what'd you do? But yeah, when I was paused on the menu and I was thinking to myself, okay, what did I forget? What did I forget in Link to the Past? I went over, both maps in my head real quick, and then I'm thinking to myself, it has to be in Super Metroid somewhere. What did I miss? And then I get back to Super Metroid, and then it's when I remembered, oh wait, I picked the grapple beam. I better go check Shack Tool. Like, oh no.
Yep, that happens.
And then I was waiting for that even bigger troll, like, give me speed boost. I'm like, oh no. And then I had to go check the waterway. That was the last speed locked item I had to check.
We never found that lamp anywhere. It had to be somewhere in Ice Palace or maybe in Turtle Rock or Mimic Cave. But Lackattack just finished Turtle Rock just before he forfeited, and he didn't find the lamp either. So we have no idea where it was.
Let's see here. I struggled to go mode ice. Could have been right side. Could have been Hookshot Cave. Maybe Mimic Cave. Laser Bridge. Super Bunny. Yeah, I think that's it. I don't know where else it could have been. Or wait, no, I picked up that mushroom. I picked up the mushroom. It could have been mushroom too.
Did you pick up the mushroom? I completely missed that.
Me too.
Yeah, I did pick up mushroom. I forgot where I picked it up, but I picked up mushroom.
Okay.
So the reason why you got so far ahead is because Lackattack first went and cleared out the dam, then decided to, no, I'm not gonna do that. So he ran away, did something else. Later he came back and decided to not go there yet again. So that's why he fell so far.
Oof. He was mentioning in IRC that his console froze a few times and he died 3 times to Ridley. So it sounds like it was pretty rough. But if he just finished, finished Turtle Rock. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, he did soft lock on the screen transition on his way up from lower Ridley. So he had to redo it.
And if he had just finished Turtle Rock on stream, this sounds like it would have been a really close race. It sucks that for that to happen.
Oh, once he got the grapple beam from Spike Cave, he immediately remembered, yeah, Shackle, gotta go over there. And he did check out Spike Cave after doing Palace of Darkness and Eastern Palace, almost pretty much immediately after. It was just simply a matter of when he got over to Swamp Palace. Unfortunately for him, he did take 2 softlocks in Ridley's Lair. I think he's got a problem with his system or his game cartridge, because twice he tried to get out of the upper portion of Ridley's Lair back into Upper Norfair, and he softlocked on he hardlocked on a door transition and had to reset his game. The first time he did this, he hadn't actually saved after Ridley, so he had to go and fight Ridley again. Took a death and then had to go down there another time and beat him once more, a lot quicker. So after that, he took the save out of Ridley's Lair. He tried to exit out of Ridley's Lair again, softlocked again, so he had to reset, go back to save point, and go backwards through Ridley's Lair through the acid room to get out and get back to Links to the Past without locking his game. So he spent a really unfortunate amount of time in there.
Was he on console? I would think he'd be on console. That'd be SD2 SNES. I wonder, because Lackattack and a couple others have had some really strange, crashy hard locks, issues with crossover.
I believe chat mentioned he has soft locked there before, and he is on console, so it sounds like he could be right.
They also mentioned that last time it happened, his save file got deleted.
That's right. That was last week, and he was I forget who he was facing, but and he still won that race, though, I think, didn't he? Even though he had to redo everything.
I don't know. I didn't catch that race.
I don't know either.
I didn't catch it. I don't remember.
Yeah, this has turned out to be an awful lot of problems for lackattack, so it's not surprising he took the forfeit after Trinex, and he is declining the interview. I do not blame him one bit. It's got to be immensely frustrating to have had this happen so many times to him now.
Yeah, I'm not blaming him either.
No, I won't either. Lack, you put up a really good fight. You probably should have won, just based on some of the better decisions you made. It's really unfortunate that this happened, and hopefully your next match you come out on top.
Yeah, GG's to Lack. So I think
Go give him a follow, guys. He deserves it.
We're going to be wrapping up things here pretty shortly. Do you have any final thoughts on the seed or the race, Lenophis?
Other than all of my early deaths when I accidentally took a death warp before I wanted to take my death warp in Zelda's dungeon, and then taking another death warp sequence, breaking the Dark Cross, and trying to get to the back end of the escape. Those were fun times. Other than that, it felt like it was going to be a really fast seed with finding Flute right away, finding Flippers right away, Hookshot, Boots, just a front-loaded seed once again. It was crazy. And then, of course, the one item for Go mode.
Yeah, which was a green pendant in Pendant Swamp, no less, which is one nasty roadblock to come across.
Yeah.
Ooh, I bet chat loved that though.
Well, they particularly loved your. I'd say the best thing they loved most was your adventures in Ice Palace and that bomb jump where you managed to get across twice and then fell down right afterwards.
Yeah, I was slightly tilted after I hookshot the wrong block and it fell down again. Like, are you kidding me? I gotta do this again?
Yeah, that is a tough bomb jump. So having problem there is just whatever.
Yeah, just gotta practice that a little bit more. Not a big deal.
Practice makes perfect, and I don't believe. I think this puts you at 2-2 right now, so I don't think you'll be able to get into the top 8, even if you win in the next game. But it's still great practice doing these races and great fun for everybody involved. So
yeah, this tournament has been a lot of fun. I went into it not expecting to win, not expecting to do that great. Hey, if I get some money, it's great, but I'm in it. I'm in this one for the fun.
So thank you for the race. GG's to you and to lackattack. So yeah, I think we are going to wrap up things here today. So great race once again. I have been Revolving Ocelot, joined today by our new commentator, Angle 8Z. So GG to you too. You did an excellent job.
GG.
Hey, GG to the commentators. Give these guys a follow. They do a good job.
I've been doing quite a lot of races for the tournament so far. I have been enjoying it so much. But yeah, thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. Thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. I wish you all a good afternoon or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and see you in the next race.
Bye-bye.